funny.
There we go.
So funny.
Well played, Danny.
Is up, everyone? Welcome back to Malt and Magic for an absolute banger of an episode ahead. We're back for our final Orbital Blues episode of this arc. We may be back with more arcs of Orbital Blues, but this is going to be our final one for this arc. I'm super excited. I've been buzzing about this, thinking about it all week leading up to this, and have been really, really excited. And as always, I'm Bodhi, your unexceptional GM, and I'm joined by our exceptional cast of players. Guys, say what's up and introduce yourselves. Let's send it around.
Hello, I am Dave, and I am playing Jesse Brains, the brains of the operation, or more realistically, the muscle.
Hello, and I'm Danny, and I'm playing Gigabyte, who is a bit of a cockney geezer, thinks he knows everything, but he is the fixer. So if you're ever in a pickle, he's your man.
Oh, nice one. I am Tom. I am the father half of Homie and the Dude, and I am playing Isaac P. on Landing, the rational and very, very calibrated character that never does anything out of order, and I will continue to do that tonight, I'm sure.
I'm scared, generally. So, hey folks, I am Matt. I am not your game master for this evening. I am playing Zane Vega the Phoenix. I don't think I'll be rising from the ashes this episode, though. We're fucked.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. But guys, if everyone sat comfortably, then let's begin. Dave.
What? Ow!
Monster of the week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
Beautiful.
Indeed.
Beautiful work.
Right.
Just
So, a
about
little
got that
recap.
sentence out behind the intro finished.
Little recap for everyone. So our party escaped the block with pursuers in tail, and after a wild, Fast and Furious-esque chase across the desert, our players were able to disable their pursuers and then escape by vertically hovering up the side of a cliff face on top to a mesa plateau, basically, before eventually heading over to Cinco City. There, the party parked Old Bessie, their vehicle that had taken much damage during the chase, and continued on foot through the rain of the night. They went to a bar called Sally Shootery and Stop House, and there they laid low for about 45 minutes before heading to the landing dock, where they intend to meet the mother of Neo, the cybernetic child that they are harboring, to Bay 21. Along this way, I think the group have begun to realize that this is slightly different than they thought it was going to be. This kid is beginning to mean more to some of them than they originally intended. Not just cargo, but instead part of the crew, part of the ship. And
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
and so we're going to join our cast. As I mentioned last time, this kind of watercolor anime effect having, you can see rain dripping down the canvas-like screen. You can see puddles brewing and reflecting the lights of many billboards and holographic advertisements of Cinco City. But down here on the dark level, the poorest level of the city, we find you guys tucked in an alley, looking at the landing dock. As you all can hear from a nearby SCARS vehicle that is stationed outside of the landing dock terminal, you can hear from its window a radio broadcast playing. It says, Welcome back to Malt Magic 97.8. I am Bodhi, the unexceptional GM, your tall, dark, and handsome host, dazzling your ears with docile tones this evening. We'll be continuing our tales about the renegade future of yesterday that nobody wanted. So, what's going on, Jerry? They can't be in the booth while we're live. Hey, what are you doing? We're on air. Stop! You hear a punch sound and a clang as the microphone sounds like it's being grabbed, and a voice comes over the radio. This is Lieutenant Emmanuel Constantine. This is an emergency broadcast. 4 extremely dangerous fugitives have crossed the block illegally. A cybernetic child whose technology belongs to Void Corp has been kidnapped by these criminals. So, people of Cinco City, we ask, please do not engage them, for they are considered hyper-violent and have murdered many SCARS officers. But please do report any sightings of them to 9911. The 4 are comprised of a male with a buzz cut covered in tattoos, a strung-out looking male with long matted hair and augmented arms, an earthly Southern American male who carries 2 illegally modified revolvers, and a male with black slick spiked hair and a crooked nose. So, stay off the streets, but keep your eyes peeled. And if you're listening, you filthy rat criminals, we're gonna find you. And you will be punished. Mercilessly. Back to 97.
Hey Isaac, you hear what they're saying about your nose?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if that means we're like legit famous, but when you go out to the public like that, I mean, that's something. I mean, there's some recognition here. Gentlemen, have we arrived? I think, methinks we have arrived.
I think we're fucked.
Well, glass half full and all that, but yeah, infamous is probably the word I would use.
Jesse,
I like the idea of being famous. That's pretty cool. That sounds pretty badass, Neo says, leaning into the group.
Yeah.
So, how do we get in? What's he turns back over and like gestures to the like small militia of SCARS officers in front of the landing dock terminal.
I go over to Gregor and I say, "Hey, Giga, can we use the kid to like fucking map this shit out to get us like in and out, fucking smash and grab, and everybody's safe and no one's injured? I mean, like some sort of, I'm thinking like shortcuts all the way in. Yeah.
Or actually, you might be able to download blueprints and we can find a secret sewer entrance or something like that. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Neo, my old chap, I don't suppose you could.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you could log into the whatever and download blueprints, schematics, anything to do with this building. See if we can find a secret way in.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's hacking into systems, could he not set an alarm off somewhere down the road? Draw him away, bit of a distraction.
Or call in a sighting actually and get all the guards to fuck off somewhere. Could we do that?
Which do you want me to do? I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. I'll try.
I like Zane's idea actually. See if we can call the guards somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that requires any sort of special technology. Maybe just a phone and a good phone voice. Do you want me to do it?
Let's hear your voice.
Yeah. I was going to say I think Jesse has a great phone voice. Yeah.
Don't you know it?
Do any of them have a phone?
I don't know. Do you guys have a phone? Does anyone have a phone on them?
Forgive me, is Neo not a phone?
Yes, I do, because I had a phone number from various people.
You did. You're right. You had a phone from Laz originally. You got a message from Laz. So yes, amazing. Yes, you do have a mobile. Then.
In which case, I will flick it out. Well, kid, don't fuck it up.
He looks to Jesse, looks to Giga, looks to Isaac nervously, and then looks to Zane. Dials 9, 9, and as you watch him go to dial the ones, you see, again, more just human nature as you see his fingers shake from what you would assume would be the adrenaline of the moment. As you see him press 1, 1, and hold the phone up to his ear, and he looks at you guys, he goes, "It's ringing."
I'd probably place my hand on his shoulder at this point and just look him dead in the eye like, "You got this."
As he's ringing, you hear on the radio, you hear, "Ow! Sorry about the interruption, everyone. We've got a caller calling in right now. Let's hear them out." And you hear, and it clicks in, and Neo's like, "I'm on." As he's like, "Caller, what's your name? And are you talking? Or are you here about the emergency broadcast?" And Neo's like, "Hi, my name is
Jeff. Barry. Jeff.
Isaac, Zane, Gregor, Jesse Bite.
Fucking hell.
We're fucked.
I'm my dad wants to talk, and he puts the phone out into the center of the group.
I grab the phone and I say, "Just 1 second. Just want to get my son here all sorted out." I put the phone down to my chest and I say, "Neo, take a deep breath. Right now. Take a deep breath. Now drop and give me 5 fucking push-ups. Quick. Go."
He drops down in the rainwater, splashing as he does, and then pops back up.
"Neo, come here. Now you tap
takes
into
a
that
small
fucking
step
brain of yours. You got the biggest brain on this fucking planet. Tap into that brain and tell them what we want to tell them. You got this." And I hand the phone back to him.
He nods at you, holds the phone up to his ear and goes, "Hello, this is Jeff. I am calling because we have spotted the 4 criminals. They are around, they are like at Sally's shooter house and gallery. They look like total dickheads. Like when you were like, oh, they are like rats, like, oh, filthy fucking criminals. Like I'm like looking at them right now, like, oh, let me be more quiet. They might notice me, but they are just disgusting. Go get them." And he hangs up and goes, "Whoa!" and starts fist pumping and jumps around and is like, "Whoa! Did you guys see me go? Did you see me go? I just channeled it.
Jesse's going to be looking around for the anyone else seeing us.
No one has seen you, but please make an observation check for me, Dave. So that's just 2d6, nothing added to it.
We missed the opportunity to go, "My name is Jeff."
His name's Jeff. It's a 6.
A 6.
Oof.
Beautiful. With a 6, you see like some of the like SCARS officers kind of look at each other confused, having heard the broadcast like you guys, as a couple of them shrug and continue their patrol. The vast majority hop into their vehicles and hover out. You see some of them going up into like the higher roadways, basically, that intermingle amongst the skyscrapers, and they kind of like peel off. I would say there's probably about 4 SCARS officers left, like at the entrance, and like a couple round the side. However, as you are looking, even with a 6, you can tell that the terminal itself has been shut down by the officers, Jesse. You can tell that there's no lights on inside, and something that you would probably be able to deduce is you'd probably be able to deduce that once you're in, you would be like safe. If you could get in quietly, like there doesn't seem like there's anyone inside. You don't see any like flashlights moving around or anything like that. You reckon it would be easier once you're inside, basically.
Okay. Hey guys, I think it worked.
What worked?
Well, they all buggered off. There's only like 4 of them left. Do you think we can get in? If we get in the terminal, I think we're all right.
Well, Vega,
We need a
you've been
plan.
fucking leading this. You've been leading this fucking circus show since the beginning. Why stop now?
Would we say leading?
Matt,
Say-
sorry, Tom. Matt, I'd like to ask you a question. The
Mhm.
cybernetic eye that you have,
Mm-hmm.
when you received that eye after the accident that happened with the explosion of your last ship, the mechanic, the biomechanic, told you that it had scanning capabilities. However, you were unsure of whether you felt comfortable using the cybernetics, further than just as an eye. How do you feel about these cybernetics now that you've been around Neo and Gregor and everyone else?
I am going to put that to the dice. And I'm going to roll a simple d6. And if it's a 3 or, 4 or higher, I'm good with it. Fucking smack bang in the middle, isn't it? I'm still wary of it, I think. Having seen also, yes, I've been around Neo, yes, I've been around Gigabyte as well, but I've also seen Gigabyte's rash crawling up his neck, and I've also seen him go a little bit fucking loopy.
Yes, 100%. And it's something that, you were warned about by the biomechanic of, overuse it and it can cause problems. So that makes total sense. You can see there's 2 officers leaning on their vehicle. One of them has he's got like a small umbrella that's coming out of some sort of like glove that seems to be part of an augmented arm, and a small umbrella held up as he's like smoking in the rain, just talking to the other one who stood on the other side of the vehicle. Round the side, you can see 2 more. One of them is whistling as the other one is kind of like scraping his boot on something as he's like, I stepped in some shit, man. Fuck. And he's like kind of trying to splash it off in a puddle and scrape off the shit from his boot. Over to you guys.
Alright, fellas. I see this is more of a democracy, so, who's got a plan? We can walk right in there right now. Take 4 fellas out. I'm assuming they're fellas. That on me, but I assume they're fellas. Take them out.
Can
Then we move on.
Can we take them out all quiet? One each?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Give it a go?
We've got to go in quiet. We can't go in loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Do you
them out.
want me to be like, watch out, or like what do you want me to do?
What about decoy? We get all near them, you show your face, and we all jump on them behind. Are there boxes between here and where they are that we might be able to scooch round?
Great question.
Cargo crates and everything?
So, what there is this is the front of the terminal, and the front of the terminal looks very similar to the front of a train station or an airport, basically. Essentially, it's cascade of stairs up to a main plateau where this dome kind of roof comes out. It's all made out of glass, and you can see that there's some automatic doors that be at the front there. You can see that the Scars have hovered up the stairs and parked their vehicle in front of the doors, basically. Then the ones down the side, which is a long glass wall, basically, of these glass panes that are divided by metal connectors, kind of spans for about half a block, basically. This is a humongous on and off point for this entire chunk of planet. Between you guys and there, though, however, there is what are doubled up as they're like flower pots with like these wilted, dead flowers kind of toppled over, graffiti on the side of them, but they also double up as like terrorist blockades. So if anyone were to try and drive a vehicle in here, you know, crazily, it would be something that would deter them. So you reckon like between them and like the tiers of where these stairs go up, which are like little tiers, you reckon you guys could sneak up to the you could sneak up to the tops?
I say use the cover. We get nice and close.
I can always stun them with. Yeah, I can stun them with these.
Then
knock them out. But they're quite loud when I turn them on. They've got like a.
And then that's why I was thinking, you know, a knife to the throat. Zane?
Oh, okay. Right.
We'll just choke them out. We only need a window of time just to get through. So knock them out. Choke them out.
Yeah.
I don't care. Isaac, if you want to hug him, for all I give a fucking damn right now, you do what you need.
I'd like to try and knock him out.
Yeah, I'll look. I'm gonna behave, guys. I'm gonna do what we need to do to get in and get out. Don't be concerned about what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna just follow the plan. But I'm still not sure. Like, Jesse, do you got a silencer? Do you got a what do you got on your? I mean, that fucking thing is loud.
Yeah, you can't silence this beast. Sorry.
Yeah.
When we need to, we'll use it. But right now, let's try and follow Zane's idea. Let's choke him out, stun him if we have to. Giga and
yeah.
I'll be decoy. I'll go run, and I'll maybe say that like I've escaped and that I'm the cybernetic child that they're looking for, and then you know you guys can sneak up and finish them off. I'll distract them. How's that sound?
I turn to Zane and I say, Zane, I don't fucking like that at all. We are guardians of the kid.
Okay. No, Isaac, you're right. You're right.
I'm with you on this one.
I'll do it. I'll walk up in front of him and I'll say, "You looking for me?" And you guys need to just be behind him, all right?
We get three. The last one's yours, then, Jesse.
Can I have a knife? I can do it. Zane, I can do it.
Neil, no.
Are you damn sure, Neil? This means potentially taking a life.
I mean,
It
you
changes
guys
you.
have been.
Once you do that, you never go back.
Yeah, let's hold off on that right now, Neil.
You just stick close, boy.
Okay, I'll come with you, Zane.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go.
Either way.
I'll go with
one of
whoever.
us. Stick close.
Yeah.
Neil, if you get the chance to distract him, you know, touch the bike and start it and weird the crap out of them,
Whatever
do
you
it.
can
But
do.
you leave them to us.
Okay. Okay. I've got an idea, but yeah. We'll run
guys,
through. Let's go.
I'm gonna go up those steps. I'll go in front of him. You go round the right. Go behind him.
All right, Jesse, we got you.
All right. Let's go.
It's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot the absolute fuck out of this thing.
Exactly what he said. We'll come.
Amazing.
Is that some sort of code shit? I don't fucking...
Let's just go.
Yeah.
Jesse does like an amazing monkey run, like real low, proper hunch downs, proper going, nice and speedy.
I'm going to be stealthing by the flower pots as Jesse's bombing forward at this point.
I go to Giga and I say, Giga, can you get the boy to do some sort of decoy so that when you do turn your shit on, the sound of your shit is being distracted by something else? Like can he do some circuitry shit, some fucking sound over there stuff? I mean, you know, you two know this language, you know what the fuck's going on there. See if he can do something like that.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. Let me see if I can just lower the power setting just to bring the noise down. I'll think of something. I've got this.
Amazing. So, what we see is from the blackness of this alley, we see a bunch of figures dart out into the night as the rain covers most of the sound out here, outside of, any sort of broadcast and things like that. Most of it is just, that rainfall as you guys splash quickly across the ground. And these splashes are kind of giving these kind of watercolor splatters as you kind of go. You guys dash up to the first set of flower pots as Jesse, you kind of make your way around the stairs. Can everyone please make me either a savvy or grit check for stealth?
Oh, get the fuck in. 2d6, yeah?
Yeah,
Yep.
2d6 plus your savvy or grit.
That is almost as high as it can be. I got an 11 on the dice for a grand total of 13.
Amazing.
I got 11 altogether.
I got
Nice.
a 9.
Nice.
I got a 9 as well, but thinking about just being stealth, I take my shirt off and I take my trousers off.
And you leave them in the alley.
Yeah.
As you do, from behind the bin that you guys were, like the skip that you guys were next to, a person who you can see almost has wires embedded into their skin, thin as anything, almost animalistic, crawls out, grabs your clothes and begins putting them on quickly, and then dashes off into the night. Cool. You all roll fantastic. Neo also rolled a 10 as well. So you managed to sneak up. The Scar's unaware of your guys' presence at all. What I'm going to need is one more roll from all of y'all, and then I want a description from everyone of how you're kind of sneaking up, what position you're taking, and all that kind of stuff. And Dave, I want to know what Jesse's distraction is.
Yeah.
Another savvy roll.
Savvy or grit, whichever you'd prefer.
Fuck.
Can we re-roll with anything? Is it take a blues or something, or I can't
You can take a
remember.
heart.
You can spend a heart to exert and re-roll one of the die.
I'm gonna do that as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. There we go.
I got the fucking same thing anyway. 8 for me.
Ooh. Yeah,
Nice.
I got an 8.
Okay. That
yeah.
hits as well.
Yeah, so 8 for me. I just hit it and with a grit.
Amazing.
If that makes any difference.
Tom?
I got a 9.
A 9. Beautiful. All of you very stealthy, managing to get past. You can tell that as you're getting closer, the difficulty is becoming harder now. You see these lights kind of streaming from the terminal building on the outside, these yellow lights projecting down like spotlights almost, basically fill the space. And as you're kind of sneaking up through those, as you all roll an 8, except for Tom, it turns out that having less clothes sneaking actually does make you sneakier. And Tom manages just to be a little bit ahead of you guys. Cool. Everyone let me know how you position yourselves around these 4 guards. You've got 2 either side of one vehicle, another 2 kind of chilling by the entryway, and then you've got some on the side. What's your guys' positions for the 4 by the entryway?
I want to make sure that I'm in a position where when I step out into the light, they should all see me. So if they're walking or whatever, patterns they're doing, I want to make sure that they can then all see me and that I can get pretty close to them in a slow walk, sort of with my hands up. Again, I haven't done this yet. I'm just going to start. That's my plan.
Yeah.
Then it is that the group is definitely behind them at that point. So that's kind of where I'm going to be. I'll jump back to then me stepping out in a minute when these guys are hiding.
Cool. Hell yeah,
I
awesome.
will also want to be just stepped out, just so that I can then see when the other guys get there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're just peeking out enough to... Actually, what you're doing is you actually modified your rifle a while ago that allows you to actually bend the rifle in half around corners, and you have a mirror reflective.
I was going to say, there's a little mirror right on the end which I can flick up and I can see them, so I'm just hiding there.
Yeah. Perfect. Tom, how are you positioning yourself for these 4 guys?
I'm on the ground right now, and I am trying to make eye contact with Jesse, but I'm also distracted a little bit. By a couple things. One is, I remember now what Emmanuel Constantine said on the radio, and he described me in a way that kind of troubles me, and I start like looking at feeling my nose and feeling how crooked it is, and start contemplating whether I want to crack it right now and just fucking straighten this fucking thing, because I'm not going to make it to the silver screen if I have a crooked nose. But I just kind of put that aside, and I look and focus on Jesse, and I get down on more than all fours, like a soldier, like down on the ground, and I'm admiring my bronze forearms and biceps right now, and understanding how well they blend into the kind of the gray mud. And I soldier crawl to a position where I feel like I'm in a little bit of a flank. I don't know what a flank is, but it's just a position that I feel like I can pounce quickly.
Okay, so you're coming to the two that are kind of leaning up against the wall. A flank would just be like a side angle, and you've probably got about like 5 to 10 feet between you and them, basically. So you reckon that when Dave makes his move, you're going to have to make a dash. You reckon there's going to be like a little dash to get to your guy. Cool. Danny, what's your position? Where are you at?
So, you know, they said there's a vehicle, and there's some around the vehicle. Is it a hover vehicle?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to be under it.
Amazing. You crawl up and you actually climb into like one of these flower beds, wait for them to like kind of turn around, circle, go to the back as they pop the boot and begin looking for something in the boot. You just quickly run over and crawl under. Now, hover vehicles in this on this timeline work a very interesting way. They basically work with the magnetic pull of the planetary matter that you're on, basically, and they repel the planet that they're basically on. They use its magnetic field. So as you crawl under, you feel yourself pushed down against the tarmac as the weight of this hovering vehicle being suspended by magnets is kind of placed upon you. As it were the ground before, and you're kind of taking some of that giga. So you're under there, and you can feel your cybernetics pushed to the ground.
Yeah, because my plan in my head was when I turn my arms on to shock them, it will just sound like part of the hover bike.
Perfect. I love it.
But I didn't think about the magnetic force. I've clearly
anyone who's been run over by a hovercraft, they know it's not that bad. It'll be a couple of psi. You're trying to do a press up with someone sitting on top of you. It's all right.
Exactly.
Who the fuck has been run over by a hovercraft?
Exactly.
I mean,
Marty
it's
McFly?
okay. Many feet have been run over by a
Dave
hovercraft.
just stood there like, woo!
Yeah, no one said that I was the one driving it.
Because my plan is if I can find them, you know, when I could trip them up, then as they land, zap them in the face. That's what
amazing.
I'm
Okay. Awesome. I love that. So you've got one of the two at the vehicle. Tom, you're aiming for one of the two by the standing at the wall. Matt, where are you positioned?
So I'm going to have pulled my scarf up over my nose, sort of collar up, jacket around me to make me as inconspicuous as possible. And I'm going to sneak around the flower pots just to the right, or just down to the side of where this hover bike is, so that when Giga goes for one of them, I'm going to go for the other. And I'm also going to take out the sawn off shotgun. Fucking hell. I almost fucked that up. I'm going to take that out, but then I'm going to flip it around so I have hold of the barrel, because I'm going to use this thing to pistol whip someone.
Oh, nice. Amazing. You're kind of leaning up against the front of this hover vehicle. You see quickly a couple feet behind you. You've kind of like made it expertly. You've done this like sneak like probably a couple thousand times in in the 10-15 years that you've been kind of outlawing about. And you see behind you Neo kind of coming up. He splashes into like one puddle, and you see like one of the guards turn their head as he lays flat and waits for a second as he kind of turns back, and then he kind of scuttles up and kind of lands up against the vehicle next to you and goes, "I made it."
Yeah, we probably should have discussed that before you fucking started running, boy.
I made it though. Look at me. I'm like you.
Just
okay.
lay low now. No sudden movements. Just stay here until I get you.
When do I shank the guy?
Just fucking stay here. Don't move until I tell you to come out.
Okay. I'll shank him good.
Just fuck. You stab anyone, it's gonna be fucking me, right?
Okay. I won't stab you, I promise.
Right. Well,
Not
there we go.
intentionally.
The only person you're stabbing today is me. If it's not me, it's fucking no one.
Okay. Amazing. Jesse, you've seen all your crew get into various positions.
He's going to
What's the
go.
move?
He's going to get the rifle and put it back on his back. So swing it round his back as he's hunkered underneath this massive barricade. And then he's just going to go, okay. So he'll then swing round the barricade and then into the lights that are in front of where these guards are that have been creating the shadows that we've been hiding behind. And goes, evening, fellas. You heard about those horrible people they're looking for?
You see one of them goes, hey, where did you come from?
What's with the terminal? I was hoping to get, I was hoping to get in. What the hell?
It's been shut down due to an emergency, sir. Please step back. We don't want to have to cause any violence tonight. Please step back, sir. We've had to shut down the terminal. And you see one of them hand on their pistol.
Oh man, well, okay, hang on. I'm, looking down. What other terminal am I gonna have to go for? What?
There's no other terminals on this rock, sir. But you're gonna have to wait till the morning or until this emergency has resolved itself. Please back away. Are you armed? Is that a weapon? And you see the other one goes to reach for their pistol.
So I'm walking
That's when we all
up.
kick
I'm
in.
walking up just all at this time. I want to get as close to him as possible, and obviously the rest of them are going to do what they're going to do.
Awesome.
As soon as he
He's
says
like,
he's got a pistol, I do what I'm going to do to my guy.
amazing. Danny, you see as you say this, the guy who Dave is talking to takes a step forward and you see his feet come into view next to the hover vehicle. What's your move?
Arms go on. I drag his leg down, he comes, and then I stun gun punch him to the head.
Amazing. So you grab his ankle and you yank it. Because of the angle of the bottom of the hover vehicle and the angle that you're yanking, you snap his shin clean in half against the edge of the vehicle, using it as a fulcrum. He collapses to the ground and doesn't scream. He lands in complete shock. You see that he's got a gap between a mask and his helmet where his eyes are. And you see this wild look in his eyes as he sees you under the vehicle and doesn't even have time to speak as you just... So, make me an attack with upper hand. So you're rolling 4d6? Yes, 4d6 and take away the lowest. And then you've got to make 8 with 2 and then the last one's your damage.
Ooh, I rolled 3 4s, so that is 8 and then a 4 for damage.
Amazing. Okay, so you zap this guy and you watch him. As you zap him, the hair, and you can see a tiny bit of like his mustache was poking out from behind this mask as well. You see it singe up and the smell of burning hair fills the air in front of you, Danny, as you just clobber this dude with your shocking like this blade of lightning that's attached to your arm. And he just and falls down unconscious. Tom, roll me a d6. 3 and under, his heart explodes. 4 and up, he survives.
So much for stun gun. So yeah.
3.
3? You're muted, Tom, by the way. You're muted, Tom.
Sorry, that's a 3.
Awesome. You watch, Danny, as his eyes just roll back into his head, as after he's done convulsing, just the odd twitch, as his muscles continue spasming from the shock. Cool.
Shit.
Zane, what's your move?
So the minute I hear the I'm sort of going to step up to the closest one and just sort of go over here. And as they turn...
Amazing. The one on the other side of the vehicle to Danny, you see you come around the corner, you whistle at him, he turns at the last second as he was looking at Dave and was actually pulling out his pistol. He rotates to bring his pistol to you as you completely cave in the side of his head with the blunt end of this sawn-off. You actually watch as his ear kind of folds into his own skull as you land just below the helmet and cave his skull in. You see, again, his eyes go cross-eyed as he just falls limp to the ground. The collision actually from you hitting him was bad, but the collision of his head hitting the edge of the step in front of him, way worse. Way worse. As
I
he
would
lands
then
in
immediately
a crumpled heap.
grab the body and start to drag it somewhere into the dark, having done this before.
Amazing. As you do, you see Neo stood up by the hood of the vehicle. You see him, hand outstretched, fingers on his temple, as he gestures towards the other SCARS vehicle that is further along down the side of the building. You see his eyes roll back into his head as the light from inside the back of his crystal skull almost glows brighter for a second as you hear the 97.8 and you see the SCARS vehicle come to life as it begins and you see the two guards like, what's going on? And they go, is someone in there? And at that moment it takes off and slams them into the side of the building and through the glass of the terminal wall into the building, killing both of them. Neo releases his hand and drops down to one knee as he's expended a lot of energy to do this. And cool, Zane, what are you doing as the other two now begin to see their comrades drop by the vehicle to their right? They see the crash of the vehicle on their left. What are you doing?
As in me or somebody else?
Sorry, Isaac. Did I say Zane? Did I say Zane? I meant Isaac.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
apologies. Sorry.
Is there one left? How many are left?
There's two left under the light where you are. There's two left.
Okay. Before Jesse even goes out, I was down in a 1-inch plank, just kind of, just enjoying that kind of tension across my body, and really the only part of me that's touching the ground is my dong, right? And it's just fucking, and also
just getting that witch's kiss, the witch's kiss of that wet.
The witch's kiss, yeah. So as I'm just enjoying that, I see Jesse move, and I pop up, and I'm still my body is still enjoying that witch's kiss, right? And I walk up to the guys, hopefully with enough strut, because I don't have a shirt on and I don't have pants on, or I don't have trousers on, that they will notice that I'm pretty well endowed. Like, it's something that I'm pretty pleased about. And you know how a guy will look but not look to see how well endowed a colleague might be or some stranger might be. So as soon as I see them drop their eyes, I'm just kind of walking up to them, and then I go into full sprint, and I, for the one guy, go for a flying knee into the one guy as his head is down, looking at my crotch. I go for a flying knee into his face if I can.
Okay, beautiful. Roll me an attack. Roll me an attack. You can do it with upper hand as well because your dong distracts it.
So upper hand is 4 dice?
Yeah, four
The
dice.
irony
And
of your D giving you an extra D is not lost on me.
I was going to say, what I want to know is whether his knee's going to hit the guy's chin first or his penis.
It's definitely a secondary hit.
Yeah.
Did you see the Polish guy going over the pole vault? Just think.
Yeah.
So that's...
So get rid of your lowest, and then you've got to make 8 with 2, and the third one's your damage.
Okay, so I've made 8 with 2, and I've got 3 points of damage with my third one.
Beautiful. You come, it starts off there. They hear the splashing of your feet, kind of walking to their left, and it starts off with them turning, and one of them's like, "Who the fuck, sir? Please stop where you are." Oh, he's fucking naked. Oh, he's a fucking weirdo. He's into fetishes or something. And you see, as you begin running, The one next to the one that you attack is like, oh, what the fuck? And like goes to take a step back. The other one goes to reach for his pistol and draws it. By the time he's drawn it, he pulls the trigger and the bullet misses your 2 thighs as you are already in midair, and just the whistle of air past your dong. Just a whistle of air past your dong. As you fly, and it's the most gorgeous technique. I'm talking one knee perfectly forward. You actually grip the back of his head as you come up for the flying knee and bring his head into your knee. You knee him so fucking hard that it shatters his helmet in 2. It breaks the helmet in 2. And you go, you watch his neck accordion inwards as he just, and just falls to the ground as he goes, I can't feel my legs. And is just on the ground, completely collapsed. The one next to him is like,
Jesse's,
fuck, and pulls out his pistol and begins fumbling it and like trying to like keep hold of it, but he's like fumbling it.
Jesse's had all this time as the distraction. Then as all of that happens, he then runs forward, uses the bike that they're next to, that Gregor's under, and will jump off of that, so use it as a leg up, and then just proper come down with the elbow onto this guy who's fumbling, just to proper take him out. He goes like for the shoulder where it's unprotected, and just takes him into the ground so that he just crumples.
Beautiful. You run, you take this gorgeous 2-step, and it's a clean step off the bike. As you enter in midair, can you roll your attack for me, upper hand as well?
Sure. So, marvellous. So get rid of the lowest, make an 8, and that's a 4 in damage.
Beautiful. You come flying down as he's like, oh, there's a fucking... And you just collide, just beautiful peaked elbow, Muay Thai style, completely just eviscerate his collarbone and destroy. You tear his what's it called? Your not tendon, it's your artery, the artery in his neck, from just sheer impact in his neck as he begins gargling and drowning on his own blood as he falls to the ground. It's like, and you see him as he reaches over, he points to the other guy who's on the ground like, and he's kind of trying to crawl away, but his legs are limp behind him. And he's like, oh, fuck, and you see him grab his shoulder radio as he's like, anyone want to
As he's doing that, yeah. I'm walking toward him, I'm not too far away from him. I turn to Neo and I say, turn the other way. I drop down.
You got a T-bag.
And is he? I drop down and
dip.
I see him holding the walkie-talkie, and I take it and I turn it and shove it in his mouth and drive it into his mouth as far and as deep as I can, like kind of up into the upper part of his skull if I can.
Cool. No attack needed. He's not moving anywhere. He's crawling on the ground. You palm strike this deep into his throat. He and you just hear, sir, come in, sir. Is that you? Coming from his receiver on his belt, as he just slowly passes out from the pain, and passes away as well. Everyone, you can take 2 blues for eviscerating innocent cops who have done nothing to you guys whatsoever.
Can I
Troubles
check
are
so much
brewing.
For going quietly?
So troubles are brewing here and all.
Just to check.
Are you guys...
Neo
Go on,
that
Danny.
car go into the building? Was that the one I was hiding under? So I'm just laying on the floor now for no...
Was that one like 40 yards away or something? What was that, like a different group?
That car is probably like 20 feet down the side of the building to you guys.
Okay, so
20, 30 feet away from you guys down the side of the building. So with 8 troubles, you guys can evoke troubles as brewing when you want. It lasts for 1 scene, so you do not have to start straight away. You guys can invoke it when you want, and it lasts for 1 scene.
That.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'm on.
Beautiful.
I'm on there. Guys, we can get in there.
That wasn't quite as
there
quiet
any
as I was fucking planning on. Neo, you and I need to have a talk when we fucking go through here. Run.
We've done
Go.
all 4, right?
Neo-
I got one.
Isaac,
You
what
got
the
one, you
fuck?
got one.
Yeah, we got them all. What I will do is I'll grab Gregor out from underneath the hoverbike. Gregor, can you send these things off? Send them down the street.
What the fuck happened out here? Sorry, what was you saying?
Can you
As they're
send
doing
these
that-
things? Just send them off down the road, down there. Just
Right, we're done being subtle. All right.
well, just a distraction down
And
there.
then, and then it just fucking flies off as fast as it can
Amazing.
and down the alleyway.
Yeah. It goes down a road. It's just bouncing from side to side. Eventually, you see it like maybe like 2-3 blocks away. It actually catches the edge of a street and goes into a shop. As there's like a second where all of you are kind of looking and you're waiting. It's silent. You all kind of look at each other and like, oh, I really thought that was going to explode. As then it explodes outward, destroying this poor laundromat and this small family business. As the first vehicle goes flying off and blows up this small family business. As off in the distance, you begin to hear the sirens of like fire vehicles and things like that.
Ivan doesn't even notice the explosion. He's too busy taking the trousers off of one of the Scars cops, putting them on, and he's buttoning up his shirt right now and putting on this like holster belt, and just kind of seeing how that looks. And he's like, "So what do you think, Zane? Do I win the part?"
What the fuck possibly possessed you to take your pants off when we're gonna go? No, do you know what? We ain't got time. Just let's move.
Yeah, but no. Does this fit all right? Do you think this is you know
You
like
look fucking perfect, my friend. Now get a fucking move on.
all right? Well, fucking okay.
Jesse's pat Gregor on the chest and be like, "Cool," and then just starts legging it towards the entrance of the broken glass.
Amazing.
Gets out a pistol from his holster and just starts to then gauge: is there anyone inside?
Amazing. So as you come up to the vehicle, you can see that basically like kind of folded underneath the front of the vehicle is a Scars officer who, as you like run and slide over the bonnet, you land and just step on his chest, and he's like, save me, help, please, help me, take me to a hospital.
And then just stands on his neck.
Fuck me.
Shut up. Go to sleep.
And he slowly to silence. As you can take a blues for that, Dave.
I'm like, do I keep going? 9 out of 8? What am I doing?
Yeah, fuck it. 9
Just
out of
add 'em.
8. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. Amazing. So the rest of you, Neo kind of stands back up. He's like,
I would
dizzy.
probably, because I'm closest, I'd pick him up and sort of arm over my shoulder. The fuck in here, boy.
Good, thanks, Zane. How'd I do? I got him. I didn't stab anyone. You told me not to stab anyone.
Yeah.
You know what, kid? It'll fucking do.
Okay, come on then. As you all begin kind of tearing towards Tom, you're in full Scars uniform at this point. You can see that the bodies, you kind of dragged and moved some of the bodies up, so they're kind of in the shadow of there. And there's just the Scars vehicle light flashing as the terminal building is smashed into. As you guys all come into the terminal building, the sound of the rain kind of begins to die off, as this large open space kind of appears in front of you. What you can see essentially is this kind of like, it almost looks like, the terminal is shaped like a Pringle. Like the roof touches the sides down and the two ends kind of curve upwards. It's shaped like a Pringle would be exactly how I describe it. Nice. And as you guys are in there, you're kind of looking, and what you basically have is along the walls are terminal numbers. Basically, they're like they're places where you can like walk out to different sections of dock that then lead off of Mars. And interspersed between the terminal, like the terminal numbers and these little exits, are like little shops that you can see are kind of shut. They have like shutters down. Some of them still are kind of like open because they don't actually have shutters. You can see that there's a Burger Queen open, and a couple of other
Is there a
big
liquor
chain
store?
restaurants. Yes, there's definitely a liquor store. In front of you guys, though, you can see like rows of chairs where people would usually like wait for their like shuttle or be doing that kind of thing. Basically, at the far end of the room is a large glass window, and you can see like the main landing dock out that way. You can see along the walls. You guys kind of can count as you all kind of come into this space. You can count to where Bay 21 is. You guys can see where it says Bay 21. However, as you come in here, Jesse, you said you wanted to see what was ahead. Can you please roll me an observation check? And you can add your savvy to this. Though I don't imagine that's going to help much.
Not doesn't help Jesse much at all. 8.
8. Beautiful. Are you rifle out? Are you pistol out? What are you scoping the area?
Well, not quite knowing the inside of the place yet. It's just pistol out, thinking it's going to be close quarters. If it does get more open and wider, the good like 100-foot range, then the rifle might come out. But for now, he's thinking it's close quarters.
Awesome. You're looking around.
Can I do a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what do you want to roll? You can tell me what you want to roll, and then we'll...
No, I was just going to say, could I investigate what's on this scars belt? As far as like, there's typically cuffs and pepper spray and like a gun, but like what do scars carry on their belts that are...
There's a skeleton key card that got chucked in episode 2.
I'll tell you what there is. There's a badge that says trainee on it, and it has the name of the trainee on it. It says Devin Miles on the badge. You can see as well on there are some fuel cells for the laser pistol that is currently holstered. There's like 4 fuel cells for that. You can see that there is a pair of TK handcuffs, which are basically handcuffs that work for normal people as well as TK mutants as well, who are folks who have been mutated to have telekinetic powers, which is a super rare thing across the galaxy, but it is something that does happen. You've also got you've probably got a can of pepper spray, and as you investigate a little bit closer, you notice that the pistol itself is actually made out of wood. You would know, Isaac, as someone who has worked in SCARS, that trainees get pranked by being given a wooden pistol during their first week of training. And you would know that this person that you took the belt off of was very green, was very new to this profession.
Fucking Devin Miles. All right, well, work with what I got here, and I start I look at the label of a fuel cell, and then I put it back in.
It says Void Corp Tech on it.
Yeah. Okay.
As you guys skulk through, all the lights are off. The only noise that is being made is the dripping from your guys' clothes, the sound of your boots squelching along the linoleum floor that you guys walk upon. As you see Jesse kind of leading the bunch, pistol out, kind of stalking.
I'm diverting to the liquor store and grabbing the closest bottle of whiskey.
Beautiful. We'll circle back to that in 1 second. For the rest, are the rest of you following Dave? Is the real question. Are the rest of you following Jesse, or are you hanging with Zane? What are you guys doing in here?
What you got,
So
David?
if Jesse is heading towards bunker A21, that's exactly where I'm going.
Yeah. I'm with Giga, and is Neo with us as well? Or is he peeled off with Zane? Is he trying to get some hooch with Zane?
Zane has actually put him down against a wall outside the liquor store. Zane, you come up to the liquor store and you use the butt of the sawn off again to just... A small alarm goes off. As you go in, kind of reach and pull the whole alarm system off of the wall. As you then...
yeah.
Amazing, perfect. And you go on in. What type of whiskey are you looking for?
I am looking for a smallish bottle, but probably one of the oldest in there that I can find. I'm only having a quick look, so it doesn't really matter too much, but it's more, I know I'm going to fucking need this before the day's out.
Okay, so you see that there's some JD on like one of the shelves with a security tag on it. You can see there's some like another off-brand called like Jessup's there as well. And as you're kind of looking through, you're kind of scanning down the rack, and you're like looking through, and you're like, fuck man, like all of this is like okay, but it's not great. And as you turn,
where's the single malt?
You can see in a glass case, hovering and rotating with lights kind of beamed onto it, a bottle just saying Glenn McKenna, aged 25 years, just rotating in this case.
Fuck me, darling, you were made for me. Oh, I'm smashing the case. I'm taking the bottle.
Beautiful. As you smash that, a secondary alarm starts going off. You smash that as well. Exactly, yeah. And you take the bottle. Awesome. Come back out, and you find
Pick Neo up.
Is kind of... Yeah, he's getting back to his feet a little bit more. You can see like his fuel cells seem to be recovering. As you guys track through, there's a small section of this place that seems like it's under repairs. You can see some cordon off tape. See some of the floor is kind of dug up, and you can see almost like a thin, like almost translucent curtain kind of hanging, kind of separating the section of construction from the rest of the building. Jesse, as you're walking through with that gorgeous observation check, you hear the sound of like footsteps from behind this curtain.
I'll signal the rest of the group to stop, and then I'll charge forward and blast through that and be checking with the pistol.
Amazing. As you come through, you push the curtain aside and you come through. You can see a workbench, and on the workbench, a small rat turns up and looks at you. You can see one of its eyes is bulging bigger than the other one. You can see some of its fur is missing as it's like... and just sounds kind of like rabid as it's looking at you.
Fuck's sake. Is this the way that we're meant to be going, through the workers bit, or not?
No. Well, I mean, it will lead you out to outside. As you now look, you can see that there's another curtain, and you can see it's kind of flapping in the wind, and you can hear rain hitting against the curtain on the other side of this bit of construction. You can see, though, however, between you and that bit of curtain, there's like a bit of almost like a foundational framework. There's like a metal beam that seems to go across, and below it is like a drop to the floor below, basically.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, Giga will just come out in front of you and just start stomping on it, going, fucking damn dirty rat, fucking piece of shit. Because he doesn't like rats because they chew wires, and that annoys Gregor. So he's absolutely stomping the shit out of this rat.
Amazing.
I'll probably sidle up to Isaac at this point. Giga, is he alright? What the fuck is he doing?
No, he's in the moment, man. Just let him. He's in the flow state right now. He's fine.
Guys,
fine.
Come on. We can get out this way.
You sure that's the right way?
Well, we can get out.
All right.
Okay, I'm not sure if that answers the question. Jesse, is that leading us to fucking Bay 21?
Fuck it. Let me find out. So, is there like just an open gap, or is it something that I could walk across to get over to this outside?
There is a beam that you could walk across, and as you kind of begin walking over, and do you have any flashlights on you, Dave? Is he carrying any sort of flashlight? Or
I would have
anything?
thought that on his rigging he would have had, he would have had one a little clip one that you can just flick on. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right,
You flick that
look
on, and you can see that the beam, though, like because of the darkness of the room, you could see like the light from the spacescape outside coming in from one side. But there's kind of like a midpoint in this room where things got almost really dark and was hard to see. As you flick on this torch, you can see that the beam about halfway is unfinished. However, there's another section of beam on the other side. It's probably about a 10-ish foot gap. You reckon? As you flick the torch down as well, you'll notice that the drop beneath you is probably about 60 feet into a basement of some sorts.
I don't know, fellas. It's a bit precarious.
So if that is the place outside, but that's not necessarily Bay 21, is it?
Not necessarily.
So actually, we could carry on going to Bay 21 and see if there's a way out that way.
I don't want to
Before we
lie,
do
gents.
that-
That beam looks like the single fucking biggest opportunity for a lot of twats to try and shoot us off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Look, I look to Neo and I say, Neo, can you come here a second?
Yeah,
And,
what's up?
Well, and I walk him over to Giga and I say, look, you guys remember when we were on Old Bessie and shit was going sideways? And you two thought up a different ways to outsmart everybody? Well, that's fucking what we need right now. Fucking start outsmarting this fucking thing, and let's figure out a way to do
Amen.
this. Because fucking Zane and Jesse are fantastic at what they do, but it ain't fucking battle planning right now. So, Giga, take control of this shit, and fucking let's come up with a plan.
Alright.
Giga,
dicks out.
what? Sorry, what?
No, sorry. You were saying? Yeah, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. That's so crazy. No, I'm joking.
Hands
He's
down,
like,
fucking the standing, gentlemen.
What if, I mean, he looks around and he's like, well, we could go to Bay 21. I mean, we got past the guards, like, whoa. And he looks down at his wrist to a little Mickey Mouse watch that his dad gave to him, strapped on his wrist, and he goes, but we need to be at Bay 21 now. So whatever we're gonna do, we need to do it now. We've got to go. It's time. And he shows you guys the clock, and you can see that it's like 1 minute to the hour that you need to be there.
Fuck it, guys. Let's run. Let's just fucking run to
We just got to get there.
Bay 21.
Bay 21.
Let's run.
Fuck it, let's go.
Amazing. You guys come out of the construction area, sprint. You can hear your footsteps echoing
Cruise
in this
run.
massive hole. Yeah, beautiful. You Tom Cruise run, pumping those little short forearms. And you find...
Jesse's still holding a pistol, but it's not up. He's just full out running with it, and obviously he'll pull it up if he has to.
You guys come to Bay 21 and kind of like as a group, like anime style collective, kind of slide along the linoleum floor, all of you kind of wet feet, and come to a halt in front of Bay 21. You can see that there's a corridor that leads to a set of doors that then lead out onto a docking area. The docking area that you can see in front of you is kind of extends outwards. Now, Zane, you would know this place a lot better than the rest. The rest were kind of brought here in a different manner, basically, and didn't come via the legal method, basically. But Zane, you would know that on the other side, so this kind of metal docking is like sectioned off into bays where ships can then fly in, land, dump off what they need and then leave, basically, or pick people up. On the other side of that is essentially a fall off. It's a cliff. It's like almost like, when you get into an ocean and you come to that certain point where that cliff hits and then it just drops off for hundreds and hundreds of feet. Exactly. This is essentially that. This is actually where Mars Cinco broke off from the other chunks of Mars. And you can actually see, if you look over the edge of the landing dock down into what would be the old core of Mars down below, basically. So you guys can see this dock kind of stretching out probably about 100 feet. You can see a small ship like parked there. Basically, it's got two wings jutting out either side with a thin like section, almost like a balancing point at the bottom, with then an engine at the bottom of that, as well as engines attached to side wings. Small little domed cockpit, and you can see that the majority of the ship is held in the bit beneath the actual beneath the wings, where that like balancing section is. Yeah, other than that, you can see a couple crates to the side of the docking area of that. You can see a couple of more crates over to the other side, and just various little bits and bobs that are dotted and have been left. There's like actually like a crane vehicle, like one of those ones that like lifts you kind of upwards, so that if you needed to clean windows or something like that. Like a forklift here and there, like that kind of thing, basically. And you can see that through the closed doors. You see a ship at the end. You see a ship at the end that's parked in Bay 21.
It's parked in Bay 21. You talked about like the window cleaning, like crane or something, or maybe even Bay 22 or something. Jesse wants to look around to see if there's anywhere where he can get out and get a vantage point with his rifle. So he wants to have a bead over this whole area. This is now a wide open space.
Awesome.
Get the scissor lift.
So, as you basically look out, there's this long hallway in front of you guys. There's these doors. You can see the scissor lift, and as you kind of peer like through the glass of the hallway and look to the rest of the landing dock, you can see that it basically curves around the side of this Pringle, basically, and there's like many different bays. You can see another couple of ships that are actually parked here as well, further down the bay. Jesse, you reckon that the best vantage point is always kind of the high ground or the covered ground? You're from this point, because you haven't actually gone out onto the loading dock, the best thing that you would see is probably like some crates and stuff that you could like hunker down in and be able to like have like a swivel of at least a 180 of the whole dock kind of area. However, you definitely think if you could somehow get onto this roof, then that would probably be the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can look around. Like, are there on any of the structural pillars? Are there then one of those like just straight up ladders that then just go straight to the roof for maintenance or something? Got the cage around it and everything. Just like
I would say you can see one of those, but it's down by Bay 30, so it's about 9 bays away on the right, basically. So it's quite a ways away, but you can see the ladder. You can see that like a service ladder, basically, that would lead you to the roof. Yes.
He's going to turn to the group and go, "All right, guys, we're nearly here, but I need to make sure that I give you all cover. I'm going to peg it down and get on the roof. You get him on that ship, and hopefully we're going to meet for beers afterwards. All right?"
Yeah, you do Jesse stuff right now. Just think back and do Jesse stuff.
Where am I meeting you after?
Hell.
Fucking. How can we say? Like, fucking. You want to go back to that place that had the shooting gallery? No.
That's where the fucking stars now headed.
Where we dropped the vehicle off. It's meeting back there.
Yeah.
All
Meet
right,
back at Bessie. Yeah.
Jesse then gets down next to next to Neil. Neil, I'm sorry, buddy. I ain't coming with you. I need to make sure that you get on that craft. All right. Most important thing. We'll see you again later.
But Jesse, but Jesse, you said when we were back at the shooting range that it'd be okay because we'd all stay together.
I know I did, and I'm sorry. Things have changed. I need to make sure you get on that ship safe. But will you see us again?
You see him just break almost like all nature of calm as he just rushes towards you and hugs you, short, round the waist. His head is coming up to like just below your pecs. As he pulls you in tight, those cybernetic arms of his providing quite a squeeze.
It's okay, Neil. It's okay. Look,
Thanks.
go. You gotta go.
I promise I'll practice my shooting, and next time I see you, I'll do real good. We can have a shoot off or something.
You do that. We'll see you soon.
Okay. He turns back to the group and kind of walks back to the others. Jesse, you peel out down the hallway and come to these doors. You can see that as you get there, the doors open and separate. Something's odd about that. If this place was evacuated and the front doors were locked, why weren't these doors locked?
Yeah, he looks a little uneasy and then he's like, well, still got to get up to the roof. So you'll look up, make sure there's no one there, and then start climbing up.
Okay. Make me an observation check, please.
I go towards Zane and I say,
Is that savvy as well?
No savvy for this one.
Observation is
sorry.
just 2d6, isn't it?
10.
10. Amazing. With a 10, you look up, and as you kind of look up, you raise your hand to kind of guard some of the rain from hitting you directly in the eyes. And you look up, and it's dark along the roof. You can see that there's a perfect spot. There's a perfect spot where you would position yourself. And as you look a little bit closer, just a little bit closer,
So I see a sniper lens glint.
no. You see what looks like some sort of, how would I say this? Like air vent duct, basically, that has some sort of radio dish on top of it. The radio dish is on a small tripod that you would know is transportable. It's portable. Does seem odd.
I still want to get to my vantage point.
Beautiful. So, at that moment, we cut to a thermal image of the docks as a green humanoid shape steps through two sliding doors and into the rain. Looks up, hand raised, shakes their head, pulls rifle round from their body, and begins running down the dock. You can see the thermal imaging with this crosshair in the center following
Oh, no. Fucking hell.
Jesse as he runs along the dock, and you arrive at the service ladder. Zane, Isaac, and Gregor, and Neo, what's happening with you guys?
I approach, I approach Zane and I say, "All right, Cap, what the fuck are we looking for? Well, it's his mom, but do we have a description? Do we have a name? Do we have what do we have?"
I know exactly
This
what she
one's
looks
on
like.
you.
Yeah. I spent time with her in the clink, so I'll recognise her. I'll know if something's up.
All right.
I
So,
don't like this. It's still too fucking easy.
What you
They
So I'll
knew
sniffing?
we
move
were
quickly
coming.
across this stuff. We're out in the open.
They
Just
knew
move
we were
quick
coming.
as soon as we go out of this bay. Yeah.
Okay.
You think we're fucking being set up right now?
I don't know, but whatever Jesse's doing, he better not fucking miss.
Yeah.
So
Um,
once you get me to my mum, we'll get on our ship and then we'll just go and we'll just get out of here as quick as possible, and
No.
we'll just go.
Can't do that, kid.
Gotta get on that ship. Get on that ship alone. We can't come with you.
At that moment, You see Neo's eyes kind of go wide as synthetic tears begin forming along the bottom eyelid. As he's like, what? But if Jesse's not coming, then you who's gonna protect me? Who's gonna? Guys, you said you were gonna help me. You said you were gonna. I want to learn how to be a man with you guys. I want you guys to teach me.
I drop down to a knee and I say, Neo, do you remember what this mission was?
Yeah, but things have changed, Isaac. Things have changed.
Neo,
we're friends now.
I know, Neo, but you're here to meet your mom. And do you know what that means? Because I don't. I don't know who my mom was. I never did. And I never will. You got a chance to meet your mom. Now you got to focus all your attention right now on meeting that lady and keeping her safe. You know about us talking about you being and doing whatever you need to do to complete a mission? Your mission right now is to keep that lady safe and to hug her when y'all are safe. That's your mom.
You see him look you in the eyes as synthetic tears stream down his face and begin dampening his t-shirt. But if I'm looking after her, who's gonna look after me? I need a dad.
I think
need
at that
someone.
point, I will kneel down next to Isaac in front of Neo. I'm going to reach up, unclip a chain with a little fragment on it, and I'm going to place that around Neo's neck. I'm going to look him dead in the eye and just sort of rub my own eyes. I'm fucking tired, Neo. That little fragment right there, that should have blown me away. There is only one person you can rely on to protect you. And that's your goddamn self. I've seen what you can do, Neo. It's fucking insane, but you're better than every one of us here. Be better. Do better. You don't need us. You got everything you need right here. I'm going to tap him where his heart would be.
He's gonna grab the necklace, twiddle it between his fingers. As he looks up, wipes tears from his face, and goes, "You guys are my best friends. I promise one day that I'll find you guys and I'll make up for it. Thank you for everything that you've taught me, and just being who you are." C looks down, and as he looks back up, there's a fire in his eyes. There's this glint that you guys have not yet seen from him. And at that moment, Zane, you remember a moment of you sat in a SCAR's interrogation room, two-way mirror to your right, as you looked in that mirror and you saw that same fire ignite in your young eyes after stealing that mob boss's vehicle. Giga, you flash back to a moment when you also were exceedingly young. You had just engineered your first ever rally vehicle to take part in the Dirty 100, which is a race down on Earth. You and your dad were competing as a team. And you remember, as you looked at him next to you in the vehicle, you looked back and then up at the wing mirror to look at your own eyes. That same fire had ignited within you to achieve, to want to be something, to want to win. Isaac, you flash back to a moment where you are stood in front of a blazing inferno. A 2-story masonette house engulfed in flames, screams coming from within. As 4 mob bosses walk out of the front door and off into the distance, you stand blood splattered and look down at the watery reflection of yourself with that same fire ignited in your eyes. You guys all snap back to this moment with Neo as he looks up and he goes, I'm ready. Let's do it.
I'm going to place a hand on Isaac's shoulder. Look at him. Let's fucking do
It's a
this,
tough
my
one.
friend.
Yeah, Zane, let's do it for the kid. Let's just do this for the kid and get the fuck out of here, because I'm struggling right now.
We got it. Teamwork, right?
Yeah, it's teamwork time.
As Zane says teamwork, you hear that voice in your head, Isaac. So,
Could I?
What's up?
Sorry. Could I?
Yes.
Am I going to be passing this device thing that I can see that's next to a vent at all?
yes, when you get up onto the roof, you shall be.
So, can I, as I'm getting up near, to that one, but then presumably running past to where I think is going to be a superb place where I have a little bit of shelter, but otherwise a great view, and I would like to drop down to one knee, so sort of as I'm running, the metal slick, and I'll knee into a slide next to it, grab my satchel bag, open it up. Not a satchel bag. He doesn't have one. It's a pack round his back, and he'll grab that, and out of it he brings out this device. Looks kind of like a mortar or claymore, and he will then attach it on next to this device. It is one of his 5 remote explosives.
Oh.
Sorry, it's one of what? Now you bring them out.
Yeah, just sure.
Amazing. You stick this remote. So what you do is you come up to this air duct. You can see on top of it. You know for an absolute fact, this is what is known as a short-range teleporter, Jesse. You have actually used them in the military before. It's typically used when you are in a bind. You have a bracelet that you can press, and what it does is it dematerializes you in place and rematerializes you wherever this beacon essentially is. You're 100% sure that's what it is. It even has the Void Corp tag on the side of it.
Motherfucker. Right then. You're going to get a surprise when you arrive. And we'll attach it onto the side.
Amazing. Beautiful. Cool.
Flicks a little red switch on it. Light starts blinking on it. And he knows that he can then control it from far away.
Beautiful. Down below, what's the plan, you three? What are we? How are we doing this? By the way, you have not seen any sign of Maria or anything. However, there's a craft parked in Bay 21.
If we're worried this might be an ambush, we obviously need a distraction. I can be that distraction. You two get Neo to the ship. I'll draw any fire. I know I've got Jesse watching me 6, so I can...
My only concern about that gig is if the ship gets hit, they're going to need someone to fix that pretty fucking quick. And that ain't me. That ain't Isaac.
Yeah.
Neo's a better engineer than I'll ever be. You don't need me for that.
Yes, but Giga, I've got to look after my mom. I might need you to help with the if anything happens.
Giga,
He looked-
I'm in this
he looked
fucking
Isaac.
monkey suit right now. And
Yeah.
I think I'm better suited to be the decoy right now. Let's fucking turn this ambush into a reverse ambush. Let me be the decoy. You two get the kid to his mom. And what happens, happens.
You see Neo twitch as he goes, there's a 70% higher chance that if Isaac's the decoy, that I'll be able to make it away on the ship.
Well, you can't argue with maths.
No. Everyone good? We're settled. That's the fucking plan.
Isaac, one last thing. Takes out the whiskey bottle, unscrews the top. Don't fuck it up.
I unscrew it. Take a deep, deep hit. Screw it back on. Smile on my face. Hey, baby. I was made for this.
And Isaac,
damn right
if
you
I don't see you again, if this is the last time I get to say something to you, I just want you to know, man. Nice stick.
Nice cock!
Nice cock.
I look down. I look down
I
and
think
just kind
Zane
of like.
probably would laugh, yeah.
I look down, just kind of
Neo also laughs.
reshuffle myself. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Giga. That means a lot to me. I turn to Neo and I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna fucking need these or not, but I sure as fuck ain't. And I pull out 6 fuel cells from my belt and I hand them to Neo, and I say, they're made for a fucking laser pistol, but maybe you can do something with them.
Thanks. He grabs them, and at this moment, as you all kind of stand in a 4, Neo kind of looks at you guys, and there's this moment where a little bit of that young, kind of bridging out of teenager, adult energy kind of comes through as he goes, well, aren't we a sad, sorry bunch of fucking jabronis? He leans his head forward, and instinctively, Giga, you lean in and place your head against his. Zane, you lean in and place your head, joining the others. Isaac comes in and places their head. As you all kind of look down, Neo goes, it's been a fucking pleasure. Let's go meet my mom.
Might just
I
want
say,
to tone the language down when you meet your mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
Listen, this goes nowhere outside of this fucking little group right here, but I think and I turn to Neo and I say, I think I love you guys. And tell Jesse the same thing. Now let's get the fuck out of here.
As you say that, the circle breaks away and we go into slow motion. As you guys begin walking down this hallway, as you begin kind of filing out from this circle into a line, Isaac, you begin into a jog and begin pulling out in front of the group. Isaac, what's your distraction going to be as you come out of these sliding doors?
I come out, I've got my SCARS uniform on. I pull out my wooden pistol that looks like, as anyone could see, it looks like a proper laser pistol. It's painted that way, and no one else would see it. I've got my hat on, and I just start high-stepping it and saying, all right, I got it right here. I got the perimeter. Anyone else see anything else? And I'm making as much noise as I can to distract people toward me. And as soon as I distract them toward me, I'm going to try to have a conversation with them and walk them as far away from Zane, Giga, and Neo as I can.
Amazing. As you burst out of these sliding doors, you expect to look to your left and right and see folks that would be here. The dock is empty. Only the sound of rain prevails here. There's nothing else going on around you. You lost Giga as he went up into the darkness of the roofing above you. There's no one here. But you do go out and start shouting about the perimeter. At that moment, we cut to that thermal image of the dock again as it whips over from Jesse all the way over to Isaac. And you just hear a voice, quiet. We've got multiple bogeys incoming. Stay frosty. As he follows you, Isaac, with the thermal scope.
As I don't see anyone, I start becoming more outrageous with my just my antics to try to get as much attention as possible. And I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Who's here? I'm on break, and I feel like fun." And I start like fucking like running around and like jumping down, doing some jumping jacks.
Beautiful. As you're doing that, you're kind of jumping around, and then suddenly as you come down and land, you feel something cold, something metallic against the back of your head.
Hey, what we got here?
You hear a
Hey,
voice.
man.
You hear a voice slowly from behind you. Do not move. Are you here with the boy? Don't
Devin
look at me.
Miles.
Don't turn around. Are you here with the boy? Yes or no?
Scars trainee Devin Miles right here. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I've just had...
She shoots you and is going to blast you in the head.
Oh, that's Mara, isn't it? That's his mum. Mira, whatever her name is. Maria.
Fuck.
So, as you hear her flick the safety off of the pistol, you manage to at the last second turn and bump her arm up as the shot ripples outward. Jesse, you see the flash of the muzzle below you as just probably 5 feet away from you, you hear a ting as the bullet ricochets off the roof near you. As you turn round, Isaac, you see a woman. Wavy black hair. Flat face, thin eyes, cute little button nose, very similar to that of a robotic android that you know very well. You can see she's wearing a white tank top with almost like a boiler suit rolled down and tied at her waist. Below that are thick leather army boots. And to your head, now again, is a pistol. I'm
assuming the rest of us have heard that.
Yes, the rest of you have heard that. You guys can make any sort of move you want. We'll circle back, Tom, in a second.
That's fine. I'll let Jesse do his bit first.
Yeah, when I kind of deflect, I reach for my TK handcuff. So as I turn back around and I'm faced with that pistol, I've got a handcuff, but not to cuff her, to have just the open bit of that cuff ready to skull her with that cuff. So we're kind of hopefully in just a standoff right now. I mean, she could technically...
She's like, I thought they shut the place down for the night. What are you doing here, officer?
And do I remember Giga's description of Maria?
Yes, probably.
Okay. Do I recognize her as Maria?
You've never met her before, so just as much as anyone can recognize someone they've not met before, kind of like finding a stranger at a train station.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed that that's them.
Yeah. So I assess that it could be her. And instead of kind of getting into a position where we get into a conflict, a physical battle, and maybe she shoots me or whatever, I say,
don't move. Don't move.
What if I said yes? What if I said
to what?
fucking yes?
To why you're on duty tonight?
Nope. Try again. And I'm just looking to see...
With the boy, why would you lie to me? Why would you lie?
I go for a double leg. I drop down and go for a double leg.
Beautiful. The other two of you, you guys have come to the edge of the hallway now. You can see all of this taking. You shoot for a double leg, Tom. Make me a muscle check, please. You too. Anything from Zane and Giga as they witness the bullet fire off and all this going on.
Can I come at Maria from here?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'll just be going, Maria! Maria! As I'm running. We've got the boy! We've got the boy! As I'm running, trying to stop her to not shoot Isaac.
See, and as Giga does that, I've brought up my laser pistol, because I don't know who Maria is, and I'm aiming it, and then Giga runs off, and I just look to Neo. Anybody do the fucking thing we planned on tonight, or we all just fucking going crazy?
Sounds like a standard night. And
is that your mom, boy?
You see his kind of twitch for a second as he goes, yeah, I think so, based on the photos that Dad showed me, but that was a long time ago, and the photos were when she was a lot younger, but her bone structure
matches. Do your
matches.
Statistical fucking analysis of that photo and this one.
Yes, it's her. Yes, it's her.
Right. Stick with me. Stay close. We ain't going
kind of like
hell for leather.
sidles up next to you.
So I have my one revolver just sort of held down underneath the one of the flaps of my coat, and we're just going to slowly move after Gigabyte.
Cool.
Because I'm tense as fuck right now.
Tom, what was your roll for the muscle check?
It was a 7, but I'd like to re-roll one of my dice.
Go for it, exert.
Yeah, boy, that was a 6 and a 3, so it's that's a 10. That's a 10.
A 10. Beautiful. As she's got the gun, she's like, "Don't move, don't move." You kind of do like a little pump fake, and she like almost like takes a step back. In that moment of hesitation, you dip underneath the pistol. You grab her by the waist, lift her in the air, and slam her into the wet dock below you. A big splash of water kind of ripples outwards as you end up on the ground in her guard, basically, with her legs wrapped around your waist, with you on top, able to like ground and pound if you want to do anything. Giga, you're rushing over at this point, and Zane walking behind.
Stand down! As I'm legging it towards him.
I'm trying to separate her from her pistol, just to try to make this a safer situation here.
Amazing, awesome. You're trying to separate her from her pistol. Love that. So yeah, you're kind of like fighting and grappling, and with that muscle check, you manage to like put a knee on her hand and pull the pistol away as she's like, let me go, I need to meet someone, I'm meeting someone here, stop, please.
As she says that, I put my hand over her mouth and I say, we've got Neo. We've got Neo.
You see her stop wriggling, and she's looking back at you, her eyes wide. As she looks past you and sees Gigabyte running up, and her eyes widen like even further if possible. At that moment, she looks behind Giga to see Zane walking a young boy with him. As she, again, eyes even wider, looking at her, and just completely in awe. Jesse, what are you doing up on the roof as you're seeing all of this?
So obviously, with the shot firing up towards me, sort of spin to the ground, to the roof, and then look around where it came from, noticing the kerfuffle with them lot, going, I need to get to my vantage point quickly. So we'll get back up and run to the vantage point,
Awesome.
hunker down, pull out the rifle, switch on to the scope, and then we'll start. I will look down as to what it is, presumably notice that it's Isaac being a dingus, and then go, right, you guys have got this covered, I need to cover you from afar. So we'll then start panning all of the areas, all of the vantage points that I think is of this area.
Awesome. So you're kind of tucked behind like another air vent like pipe, basically, and you're resting your rifle on the top of it, looking down at the situation. You can see Isaac acting like a fool, and you're kind of scouting the area. At that moment, we cut over to that thermal image again, as it's looking down, and it goes, you hear a voice, targets acquired. Remember, we're here for the boy and the woman. kill the rest. And if you need to kill the woman, kill the woman. Wait for my mark. At that point, the thermal imaging whips round to Jesse, who is currently probably about 30 feet away on the same bit of roof. As you suddenly hear, cool. We're gonna have an action from each of you. Zane, what do you want to do? As actually, we'll go Giga. You're first up behind Isaac. As you're there, what are you doing first?
What I will do, I will get them both up to their feet, and then if there's any cover, like, we're too out in the open, we've drawn too much attention, the decoy's not working, and try and push them behind like a crate or some cover or something.
Awesome, yeah. You shove Isaac off of her, and then also tumble Maria as well behind these kind of boxes. You see her kind of fall and look up and be like, Greg? Is that you?
It's good to see you, darling.
Greg, oh my god, how are you here? How do you have Neo? And then as Zane, what are you doing as you walk up and you see Neo kind of tumble them behind some crates?
I'll probably take the pistol out, flick the hammer back, and then holster it, still looking out, hand still resting on it, but I'm then going to sort of grab Neo by the shoulder and just walk him forward. How's that,
Beautiful.
boy? Don't
Beautiful.
get too excited.
He walks forward, and you guys join the other three. Maria's like, who are you? Giga, how did you get it wrapped up in all of this?
That is a long story, not for now. Let's get you two safe first. I'll tell you about it later.
There's a
As you say
small
this-
manner of fucking credits as well.
As you say, perfect. As you say that, she ignores both of you and dashes to Neo. She picks her son up in the warmest embrace that only a parent would understand. And as we have three in the call today, I'm sure you guys would know that feeling of being away from your child for a long period of time and missing them greatly. As they do, you guys see Neo smile more than you've ever seen him smile in the short time that you've known him. She picks him up and then drops to a knee as she embraces him, and they begin crying together, embracing. She pulls away and she goes, "Look at you, my boy. Look how much you've grown. Look at you. You're so beautiful, and oh my goodness, look at these clothes you've got. Did your father choose these for you? He always did have a terrible sense of fashion." See him looking good. "These, Mum? No, the guys actually helped me choose some stuff out. I'm not a Make Mars Great Again fan, you know." And he holds the poncho and points to Gigabyte. As she turns and kind of looks at you, Gigabyte, and gives you like a nod. As she looks back and she goes, "Oh, my goodness, the best day of my life is getting to hold you in my hands." At that very moment, we cut back to the roof. That thermal vision on Jesse. As we hear Mark. And at the end of the exhale, as a high-powered
Filthy fucker.
laser rifle shot ripples across the roof, lighting the roof as it goes. Jesse, at the last second you turn your head to feel the laser smash into your shoulder, go through your shoulder, through your arm, and out through the top of your shoulder, cauterizing the wound as it rips through your skin, flesh, muscle, fat, and bone. At that moment, from one of the other ships, the door of one of the other ships opens as 3 gentlemen rush out and begin swiveling round with pistols. Zane, as you begin seeing this happening around you, you clock into something. As you turn round to face the edge of the dock, you see a ship come up to flight speed at exact eye level with you. You look into the cockpit and you see a pilot smile with a cheeky gold tooth come out as he gives you the finger, grips the sticks, and begins opening up fire with the ship.
Son of a fuck.
And with that, we're going to take our break, guys.
Oh, you bastard.
Fucking hell.
Oh, man. Right. See
Guys,
you all in a
thank
minute.
So much for watching the first half. We will catch you guys back in a minute. Stick around.
Before we go to break, I'm going to do the shout out because it is her birthday. A very happy birthday to my youngest daughter. Thank you very much. Speaking of the whole parent thing, let's go to break. I'm sweating like an absolute fucktard right now.
Really bad.
See you in a minute, guys.
Welcome back, everyone, to this, the final episode of Arc 1 of Orbital Blues. I am buzzing for how this is going to end. So, I'll give you the lay of the current landscape, guys, and then we'll go from there. So, you have this, the kind of dip in the roof, basically, here at this point, just a slightly lower section. You have Jesse on the roof, who has just been clipped by a laser blast from the rifle of Magnus. Magnus is currently 30 feet away from him and has now stood up, lifting this large rifle off the tripod that it was on, and is lifted and is towards Jesse, is looking towards Jesse. Down below, so you then have below that is where the sliding doors would be, and the hallway is basically backwards or like, you know, behind that. In front of you guys have this dock that basically wraps around. It's a massive platform that kind of wraps around the edge of this building. You can see that there's almost like these piers, these like little launchways that kind of stick out as these straight bits of like kind of metal platforming built outwards. Along them is many different types of crates and things like that. Currently, you guys are about halfway up one of these long, like, docking areas. The ship that you are trying to get Neo and Maria on is probably about another, like, 30 feet away from you guys towards, like, the end of this docking area. However, you guys currently have 2 sets of crates that are kind of staggered like this, and you're kind of tucked behind those set of crates, using them as cover. However, from the right of you, there's a ship 3 bays down, which has had its bay door open, basically, and there's people flooding out of that. You can also see shadowy figures emerging from various other crates on the left. So, that is currently the lay of everything. As well as that, sorry, I forgot, there's an entire spaceship that is currently hovering at the edge of that 30 feet of dock, pointing its cannons right at you guys, and has just begun ripping into those crates. Now, lucky these are metallic crates, and it is just ripping into those crates. So, in this moment, because you guys are surprised, I'm going to take my turn first. So this is how this is going to go.
I have fast hands. I can't be surprised. I can still act on my turn.
Beautiful. You shall act on my turn as well then. So, Magnus is going to move his entire amount of movement, and he is going to take 3 attacks at Jesse as he walks with this heavy rifle straight towards you, Jesse, blasting at you. Now, I'm going to say after the first one, you fell down behind the vent.
Yep.
I'm going to roll at against the odds because you've got cover, and we're going to go like that, okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, first of all, how much did that take off me first time?
The first one took Tom. Roll me a D8.
Roll fucking
D8.
low.
Roll
Oh
low.
god.
Roll real fucking low.
Roll fucking low.
Does anyone else have dice handy? Because I've just had my d6s
I've
out.
got a D8.
Go on,
Go for it.
Matt.
I will pass my roll to Matt.
Sorry, Dave.
4.
4.
Beautiful. So,
Down to 5 hearts.
the second one rings out. As it does, this thin lasered strip of light traveling through the air, almost slicing the rain as it goes through it. You see the rain that it slices through almost turning to steam as it hits these droplets. As it slams into the vent, and this one just slices across your thigh as you take another heart of damage.
If you did Troubles Brewing, Dave, you could use it. You could give it your blues instead of your hearts.
Yeah, fuck it.
Amazing.
Gonna go Troubles Brewing then, yeah.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen with
that
this.
shit.
So, this is what is going to happen. Trouble is Brewing, by the way, for anyone who is watching, is a mechanic in Orbital Blues where the players can activate an epic moment in their story. Once per arc, they can basically use blues instead of hearts to re-roll their dice. Now, they do take damage as normal, but they take half of all damage dealt to them, basically. So,
It's going to be helpful.
Dave, can you please describe what puts Jesse into this state where he's going to be Troubles Brewing? What is it that activates within him as he's taken this first shot and then dropped down? You're kind of tucked into this vent. The second one comes through, rips across your leg, tears the clothing, and just the flesh again sizzling, cauterized with the laser.
So it's the fact that as he flings around, the laser lit up where it was coming from. The second one, he sees that this guy, very similar weapon to Jesse's got, basically took the vantage point that he would have taken. You know what I mean? He's like, you were right there, and he's just like, oh no, you don't use my tricks on me. And so as that second one slices through his leg, everyone hears out this just primal scream from him as he goes into this Troubles Brewing.
Beautiful. I'm going to say this Troubles Brewing actually catches him in between the second and third shot. The second shot comes rips through the vent, and you actually peek over and see it coming, manage to move your leg out of the way this time and completely dodge it. But because you started Troubles Brewing, I'm going to say that that's where we end his turn. Down below, the person in the Gatling gun is going to begin opening up fire on the dock. This ignites the whole dock in light as these muzzle flashes are so big and bright that it just is reflecting off of all the rain. And these shots are just ping, 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 ping. Some of them are ripping through the crates, others are pinging off. None of you get hit this first round by this large gun as you are all tucked into these crates nicely. However, the guys from the side, two of them from the right, begin running towards you, where the other one stays on the door, basically, that's come off of the ship, stays there, and begins opening fire at you guys. Zane, as you are confronted by the ship and you dive into cover last, this person whips around and just fires off 3 shots. All 3 just rip into your arm, into your side, into your leg, and just rip into you. You take 4 hearts of damage in that moment from the guy to your side.
Shit.
The other 2 are going to use their entire movement to get basically to the end of the straightaway that you guys are on, and they're coming towards you guys. However, they do not have any like fire-based like anything that is like a ranged weapon. You see one of them pull something from his hip, presses a button, as a blade of light erupts from the end of the hilt as a vibro saber is ignited. The other one holds in his hands 2 TK sets of handcuffs and also a verbal muzzle, basically, that is this new tech that you give to prisoners, which basically you shove in their mouths and can still provide them with oxygen, but they can't talk or do anything like that. And they're coming towards you guys. Finally, the 2 on the other side are going to be sprinting down towards you, but they've got a bit more ways to come. They're still about 30 feet away from your guy's strip that's kind of poking out. Cool. Zane, what do you want to do on this turn?
I'm taking out the fucker that's just shot me. So both laser pistols are coming out. I'm also assuming in that moment where I saw the guy with the turret that I noticed it was one of the Void Marauders.
Yes, so what you would know is, very simply, you would know that the person sat in that seat is called Two Time and Jerry. And we cut to this like splash scene of this guy stood there, and he's flipping a coin in the air, and a splatter of blood goes across the screen as it says Two Time and Jerry. And we see fucking you and him. You see you and him in a bar, basically. He's looking at you and he goes, "Yeah, man, I was fucking this one girl, but then I was fucking this other guy on the side." And we cut back to you in this moment. And he was one of your old bounty crew. Though you were not the closest with Two Time and Jerry, he was part of your old bounty crew.
In which case, I've got more than 8 blues. My troubles are a brewing.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Can you describe what like fuels you? What's the thought going through Zane's head as he comes into this moment?
There is a single thought in my head, and seeing him, I know the crew's here. It is revenge. So both laser pistols are coming out in that moment. The guy, or the person that shot me, is going first.
Awesome. Roll me with upper hand. So 4, drop lowest.
That's a 10 with 1 point of damage.
A 10 with 1 point of damage. Beautiful. You whip round and you fire off these 2 shots. You see one clips him in the shoulder as the other one clangs off the armor of the spaceship. You see him take a stumble as he goes, oh fuck, and he goes to grab the pistons of the door and misses, falls off the edge of the ship and begins tumbling off of that cliff, off of the edge of the planet as you hear as he tumbles away into the distance. Yeah, beautiful. Nice work, Matt. Sick shit. Awesome. Now we're gonna all roll for initiative. Unless you want to move or do anything else, Matt. Do you want to move or do anything else?
No, my only sort of phrase at that point is probably going to be look to Maria and Neo and the rest of the crew. Get that boy on the fucking ship. And there is just pure rage across my face.
You have done that at a better time in the music.
That was awesome.
As you say that, Matt, you look up and you see walking along the roof that famous long black coat. You know, even though you can't see them, you know that he's wearing those stupid glasses that don't have any things that go behind the ears but somehow magically float on his nose. And you know that person on the roof walking down Jesse, who you can see tucked behind a vent, is Magnus, the Void Eye.
If I may then, the final thing I would do is just to say, after I've said get the boy on the fucking ship, and seeing that Magnus! And yeah, rage.
Beautiful. That's what actually cuts him short in that. in that moment, and that is what actually cuts him short from that third shot on Jesse. Beautiful. Okay, so let's all roll initiative, shall
Initiative, is it 1d6 for initiative or 2?
we? 1d6 plus savvy.
Because I've got fast hands, it says 2d3.
Yes, because it's meant to be D3, but we rolled D6s because that D3s are
So
stupid.
2d6?
Yes, 2d6. And it'll
2d6
all
plus
scale.
savvy.
It'll all scale
10.
the same.
Wait,
Okay,
just Zane had rolled 2d6. The rest of us are rolling 1d6.
Yeah, I've
Everyone.
got fast hands.
Yeah, sorry.
So you
Rest
roll
of you
initiative, but I got 2d6. Yeah.
Okay. Well, fuck.
Okay. Wait, did someone get a fucking 10 on a 1d on a 2? It was that 2d6 you got a 10, Matt?
Yep. 2d6 plus my savvy.
Cool.
I got an 8.
Then so 8 for Danny, Tom, Jesse, Tom, Dave.
Out of 2.
I got a 6.
Beautiful. Okay, so.
On a side note, guys, we need to have more rock music in even our Dungeons and Dragons. Seriously, what the fuck is this?
fucking
This is
amazing.
I agree.
I agree, dude. I agree. I 100% agree, dude. Fuck fantasy music, dude. I want some
I
heavy
am
metal,
so
and I
happy
want
with
some
my
drum and
choices right
bass.
now.
Want to get off the chain. Okay. And then
You're off the fucking chain.
You're off the fucking chain. Yeah, beautiful. Okay.
Fucking love that
So,
film.
first up is Matt. Matt, you are first to act this round. What's up, buddy?
So, remind me of the scene. I've just taken some guy off the fucking side of the ship, but there's still
Yeah, to your
twat
right.
in the cockpit
Well-
firing the turret at me.
You're currently facing the building with your back to the crates,
Yep.
with your back to the vehicle. To your left was the vehicle, basically, that you just shot the guy off. There's 2 people run to the end
Right.
of your dock who are coming towards you, and there's 2 from the other end of the dock coming towards you. Is from like the right coming down the dock, basically towards where you guys
And
are.
I can
then
also
there's
see Magnus up above, can't
Yeah.
I? Right, I want one shot from one pistol, if I may, because I've got 2. One shot heading to the person in front of me that's trying to get towards us, but another one is aiming up towards Magnus, because I either want to take him out or try and distract him from Jesse.
Beautiful, awesome, yeah, go for it. So roll me 2 attacks. I love it. Awesome.
Right, first one for the twat in front of me. Sorry, that was meant to be 3d6, wasn't it?
Yup.
I am going to expend a blues, because I can do that now.
You get to re-roll 1 die, and you must keep the result. One of the 3 die, you can re-roll them.
Fan-fucking-tastic. So that is at the guy in front of me. I've rolled a 10 to hit and 2 damage.
Nice.
Beautiful. Is that Vibro Katana dude, or is that Kinky Handcuff guy?
I'll take Vibro Katana dude out.
Hell yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So with a 2 damage, amazing. Remind me, are your pistols laser pistols, or are they?
They are
actual-
dual laser-powered 6-shooter revolvers, yes.
Beautiful. And then roll your second attack for Magnus while I describe this.
Second
So
attack for Magnus.
you wheel round and you pop 1 shot towards this guy. You see him try and deflect it with the Vibro Katana, but he misses as it rips through his chest area on the left, basically, and just fucking cauterizes straight through. You see it ripple through him and into the terminal building, shattering some of the glass and kind of going off. Yeah, it hits him clean, and he stumbles for a second, but you see him kind of grip his shoulder and then keep moving forward with that Vibro Katana. Cool.
Okay, and for Magnus, it was a 9 to hit with, again, 2 points of damage, but I don't know, because that's slightly longer range, what do you want to do about that, or is that just as is?
What I would say is the guys in front of you are probably near in terms of the ranges, and he's probably far from you in terms of range. I would say you shoot out, and your bullet just basically like clips his coat. Now, you would know that Magnus's coat is indeed laser proof. he has taken the precaution and did so many, many years ago. Though the impact of the laser still puts him off balance for a second as he begins whipping that kind of big rifle round to you, and he takes those points of damage. Beautiful, awesome job. Cool. Anything else, movement or anything else for you, Matt?
I'm going to stay because I want to cover the rest of the team in this moment. But I would shout at Magnus, "The honest move is called! The black man wants his jacket back!"
You see him turn around, and as he's whipping around, he's like, "What the fuck are you saying?" As he whips his rifle round towards you. Cool. Next up on the list is Danny. Give it to us, Giga.
The dude in the guns turret bit.
Yes.
How far away is he from me? And if I tell you what I want to do, and you'll tell me whether it's possible. I have no guns, so I can literally chin the gimp, or my plan B.
Chin the gimp. What?
Chin the gimp.
What a sentence!
What I want to do is I want to run, turn on my arms, dive through the window of the turret gun place, to then take out the guy in there and take over the turret gun for myself.
Okay. Here's what I would say. This is an exceedingly high-powered set of two guns that are attached to this ship. You will take some damage on the way to doing it. However, you know that, like any guns, they don't swivel and like change the direction. You have to like angle the ship basically to aim them. So what you know is that there is an apex point in the center that if you can like thread the needle perfectly, you can basically stay right in the middle of the two like projectiles as they're coming towards you, the bullets raining down towards you, and make the leap. I'm all about this. What goes through Giga's mind as he considers this ridiculous action, this wild action?
All I'm thinking is, I can't help the boy as I am now, facing what we're facing. This is the best idea I've got to save the boy, really.
Okay.
So I'm going full kamikaze. I'm not thinking about my own safety. I'm just trying to save the boy.
Okay.
Trying to save Neo.
I think it would be fair to say, and we can put it to the table, I'll put it to you as well, Danny. I think it'd be fair to say that if you do get hit by this ship a couple of times, we're going to be looking at a swan song. Would you say that that's an accurate take on the situation?
I'm down for it. I'm down.
Okay.
You motherfucker.
Beautiful. Okay. What we're going to do is we are going to make 3 checks. Danny. Now, you may at any point use your cybernetics to replace one of these checks. What we're going to do first is, I'm going to need a savvy check to time your exit from the crates.
That is a 12.
Nice.
You make all rolls, by the way, if you get hit, you will enter Swan Song, and at that point you will be making rolls with upper hand. A bunch of stuff will be happening, so I will remind you of that. So the first one was a 12.
Yep.
You hear a moment almost as if he pauses to wait to see if his bullets have done any damage, because the sheer amount of fire that has been happening at this point, you know, he almost from the gunner seat, it would be hard to tell how much you've hit, basically, from the sheer amount that has been fired from the ship. So he pauses for a second. You use that moment. You break into a run. Dave, can you please hit whatever Danny's song is for me?
Shit.
As you enter into full stride, you begin pumping. Okay, now give me a muscle check to try and find that perfect apex and to sprint the fastest Giga has ever sprinted in his entire life.
I got an 8. Bang on.
An 8, beautiful. You can see, he sees you coming and ignites again. His eyes surprised to see you running at the ship. He begins swerving the ship back and forth, almost trying to like cut the spray into you. You're weaving with the ship almost perfectly in time. Can you make me a grit check to withstand the last bit of this sprint that you're making, as well as then also launch yourself from the edge of the deck?
That's a 9.
Oh, beautiful. With a 9, you 1, 2, you begin eyeing up the edge and you start almost counting steps, almost like a computer. You begin kind of walking in, you're like 1, 2, 3, and as you leap, you kind of arch backwards, your hands almost touching your feet in the air as you fly in slow motion through the air, knocking droplets of water out of the way as you collide with them. Roll me an attack roll, please.
Yes.
God, that was a time to roll shit, wasn't it? I can spend some blues, right, to re-roll one of them.
Are you, yeah, if your trouble's brewing, yeah, fuck yeah, you definitely can. Roll your blues to re-roll the dice. You can roll each dice with one blue. They are
I'm
now.
swan-songing, isn't I? I'm swan-songing, isn't I?
Well, are you?
So you're swan
We'll
songing.
find out.
Am I?
We'll find
So
out.
all of your rolls are made
actually-
with upper hand in swan song.
Yeah,
But I'm not swan-songing yet, so I've not been hit by the thing.
you've not swan
Bodhi
songing.
I
said
draw-
earlier, didn't he?
So what we'll say is your troubles are brewing. You're not swan songing yet. You're not swan songing yet.
I can make 8, but not with 2 dice. I've got 2 2s and a 5. So I can make a 7.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Okay. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. You come flying through the air. You see him almost instinctually tilt the ship upwards as you come flying through the air, as he almost braces for impact. You hit the windshield, and at first the impact almost stops you, Danny. You feel it like slow your flight, as then it shatters beneath you, and you tumble through the glass into the cockpit and just completely land on him. You throw him off the chair, which he falls backwards out of and rolls into a stance. As he kind of gets up, he's in a 3-point kind of stance and looks up at you. You can roll out of it and land in a 3-point stance in front of him as well. As you look down, Matt, can you please roll me a d20? Tom,
D20.
can you please roll me a d8?
Who's rolling the DA, sorry?
Tom.
Tom.
Oh, you
11 on the
roll
D20.
Dan,
Can you roll a
Dave, you roll. Yeah,
I can
Dave,
roll
you
D8 if you want.
Yeah. What was that, Matt? Sorry?
11 on the D20.
6 on the D8.
Beautiful. As you look down, Danny, you can see your cybernetics. Wires cut, fritzing, sparks coming from your arms. You look down at your chest. You can see your clothes begin turning this vermilion, thick red color as holes in your t-shirt begin oozing blood. You take 11 points of damage from the ship's guns as you were running. You take another...
Now you
How
fucking
much
swan
was
song
it,
him.
Dave?
6.
You take another 6 points of damage from shards of glass from the windshield that are stuck in your neck, your face, your legs, your hands, your arms, your chest. And we enter Swan Song.
So can it be that as my cybernetics fritz, and the cybernetics sort of bleeds up my neck, and then my eyes just go like Matrix zeros and ones, and then I'm just like, I've gone full berserker swan song. I ain't got a fucking clue what's happening anymore. I'm just fucking shit up.
Hell yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's going to be the end of your go. So now, Danny, with a swan song. So for everyone, you know what? We'll save it. We'll save it for everyone. We'll save what happens with that mechanic. But I'll say this: Danny will now be making all rolls with upper hand. No attack or action you make may be reduced to against the odds. Every attack you make and land is deadly. You can make diving saves even if you have already acted this turn. You take no damage. And then I'll leave the final one out. So, next up in initiative is Magnus. After taking this blast and kind of shielding himself, he whips round to you and he just shouts, "Get the boy and the girl! Kill the rest!" And opens fire upon you, Matt. Alright, here we go. The first shot rings out, and he slips on the roof ever so slightly. The shot rips through the crate just next to your head, as it leaves a cauterized hole in the crate next to you. He then turns, looks at Dave's character, and goes, "I'll be back for you." Steps to the edge of the roof, and as he steps off the roof, little thrusters ignite in his boots as he comes down, lands behind the two, the katana and the vibro sword, throws the rifle to the side, draws his own vibro katana, and pulls out a laser revolver that looks very similar to that of Zane's, and rushes behind the other two towards you guys. Cool. Next up is Jesse.
Okay, so I've hit Troubles Brewing, as we saw the last time. Ooh, tough call, because I was gonna fuck Magnus up, hopefully, but he jumped off.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
Please!
So, as I fuck right, so yeah, things changed. As he turns around and says, "I'll be back for you," I whip back up like I haven't been hit at fucking all, and slide down the roof as it's curving to the edge, and slam my foot against the edge as I see him dropping. And is he dropping down next to the... Yeah, you said he was dropping down next to the other two guys?
Yes.
How close are they to the group, Isaac and Zane and so on? Are we talking like good 20, 30 feet from each other?
They're probably about 20 feet away from these guys.
Cool. I would like to... I saw the laser ping off his coat. I know that my gun's going to do a very similar thing. So I grab another explosive out of my bag and I hock it over to where they are, so it just arcs straight down to them. But I want to follow it, and as it hits the floor, I want to shoot it.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. Let's roll an attack roll. I love it. It's gonna be against the odds because you are aiming for something specific that is also moving and small in the night sky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to wait for it to hit the ground first, but totally,
Perfect.
I get it all. So
Perfect.
what do I do there? Is that...
So it's 4 dice, get rid of the highest, and then make your 8,
dice.
and then damage.
So make my 8. Okay, so it's 1 damage. I do make it with a 9.
You can expend a blues
What, to re-roll one?
You can re-roll.
to re-roll
any
the
of-
lowest, yeah.
You can reroll.
Well, yeah.
You can reroll any of the dice you want, but you're expending 1 blues per dice rerolled.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. What does that do? What do I want out of that one? I'm still taking the highest away, so okay, it's 4. Yeah,
4
4
damage. Beautiful. You huck this, and you laser in. And what's fueling Jesse at this moment? What's the thought going through Jesse's mind as he's tracking this explosive down to blast it off?
You've got one rule: don't leave him alive.
Beautiful. You rip this shot off. It hits this explosive. Those of you who are hidden behind the crates, you see Magnus land. You watch Jesse from the roof throw his thing, aim, and just as he does, this orange light just blinds you for a second. As you all kind of shelter your hands, shrapnel comes flying your way as each of you takes 1 heart's worth of damage from the shrapnel. The
Question.
others... Yes.
Do we round up or down?
On 1 heart?
That's what I mean. Am I still taking 1 or am I taking none because I'm halving the damage?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yes, I would say let's go 0. You take no damage.
Fantastic.
Yeah, totally. You shelter yourself with your coat, Matt. You lift your coat to your head and it shelters it. Cool. You see Neo go, ah! As he gets sprayed in shrapnel. Maria, little cuts appear on her body as blood begins oozing from various slices from the shrapnel. Isaac, you also get hit by the blast and feel that heat. Magnus, the coat that he has still withstands some of the blow, but he goes flying off. You see one of the rockets on his ankles actually malfunctions and shoots him off to the right. He goes flying and lands, taking 4 points of damage. You see the gentleman with the handcuffs gets blown completely off of the dock. Again, you hear ah! As he falls off into oblivion and disappears off the edge of this rock. The one with the katana gets blasted to the edge of the dock. You see him slide, drop the katana as it kind of slides along the ground and rolls along the ground. And he kind of grabs onto the edge, and you see him kind of hanging there for a second as he holds onto the edge. The other 2 that were coming shelter their faces, but then continue to press through. One of them goes to check on Magnus. Cool. That was fucking sick. Love it. So fucking awesome. Cool. Next up...
I would then just shout down, "Get to the fucking ship!"
Beautiful.
And then basically just fall backwards so that I lay against the roof, and I'm not obvious from anyone down there.
Beautiful. Dave, the ship's going to take half the damage from the explosive. As you watch Maria's ship, you see the windshield of the cockpit crack and splinter ever so slightly, as raindrops begin kind of dropping through those cracks onto her console of her ship. The nose of the ship is covered in this kind of black ash from the explosion of the smoke. You can see there's chunks of metal shrapnel sticking into the nose of Maria's ship. Cool. I'm up next. One of my guys is going to go pick Magnus up. He's going to assert him, charge in front of Magnus, and basically coming towards down your thing. He's going to be joined by the other one that it continued on to you guys. And the one with the katana is going to pull himself up onto the thing. The 3 of them are going to line up. 2 are going to take shots, and the one with the katana is going to charge towards you, Isaac. So, the shots. Beautiful. Maria is going to take 2 points of damage as the first shot hits her square in the stomach. You see blood just erupt outwards onto the ground as the ting of the metal from the crate behind her as the bullet rips straight through her body sounds out, and she collapses to the ground holding her side. It's ah! You see Neo go, "Mom!" He stands up and turns and pivots, putting his hand out, lifting his fingers to his head. Cool. Then next shot. Beautiful. Danny, not Danny, fuck's sake. Matt, you take 1 heart damage as you get blasted by one of these shots from the guy charging towards you.
Half to 0 again, or is that already
0?
halved?
Yeah, half to 0. And then Tom, this guy comes towards you with this light-based katana. You can see almost like shards of static jutting out from it and shooting out of the blade as he rushes towards you, wielding it down by his hip. Matt, you know this person as Yoshi. Yoshi was a quiet assassin that joined the Void Marauders from a young age. He never really spoke, but was the most lethal with a blade that you have ever seen in the solar system. He rushes towards you, Isaac, and fakes an upward strike and then comes down with the momentum with a downward slash. Do you know what? Instead of me attacking you, I want you to roll to dodge out of the way of this, Isaac, unless you're planning on taking the blow.
No, I'll dodge.
Beautiful. Roll me 2d6 and add your savvy to it. Or your grit. Savvy or grit.
That's a 7, but I'm gonna lose another heart and I'm gonna roll again. Fuck's sake. This ain't great. Alright, I make it. I fucking got a 9.
You got a 9. Beautiful. You managed to just kind of slide out the way as the slash comes like diagonally horizontal to you. Diagonally vertical down to you. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Holy shit. And you manage to sidestep at the last second. You see it slices through the crate behind you, leaving a scorched red mark of burnt metal behind you. He then pulls back and is going to try and do another slash, basically, and go for your side. As you try and step into the other one, he's going to try and go for you again. This time I'm going to roll the attack for you. Beautiful. He raises up, and as you kind of try and move, you raise your arm instinctually to block it. You hear a boom. And as you blink your eyes, you look and your hand is on the ground in front of you. What's raised in front of you is a stump with a red-hot, cauterized chunk of skin that you raised to defend the attack coming your way as you take 2 hearts worth of damage.
That feels like more than 2 hearts. Fucking hell.
Beautiful. Okay. That is going to be the end. Initiative. Matt, you're up first, buddy.
Hey, I haven't gone yet, dude.
Oh, have you not?
No, you haven't.
Oh, shit, sorry. My apologies. Yes, you're right. You're totally right. You were next, Tom. Yeah, you're next. My apologies.
Why do we think he's going to kill someone with his hand?
Fucking stump the shit out of that prick.
Let me just get the lay of the land here. Maria's ship is 30 feet away, but it's taken some damage. Danny has vaulted into this other ship that is in front of us, right?
Yeah.
How many other of these guys are there?
So there's the guy with the katana, there's Magnus, and then there's 2 other people coming towards you. So it's the katana guy first, the 2 guys with pistols behind him, and then Magnus is coming behind them.
And who knows how many others might be behind them.
Yeah.
So that's what
totally.
Isaac's saying. And so Isaac saw what Giga did and could see through the glass that Giga got shot up pretty completely, and understands that everyone's taken nearly fatal damage here, and says, during that time I'm just kind of covering Maria and Neo from getting any additional fire, as all of that sort of fire is coming in, and I say to Maria and Neo, look, this is getting, I think, hotter than we expected. I think we're going to need a new plan. Maria, your boy has done some pretty amazing things for us just to get here. And we're going to need him to do it again.
As you say that, Neo is standing and placing his hand out and placing a couple fingers to his temple. Maria looks at you and goes, and coughs blood onto her chin and just looks at you, has nothing to say.
Right. So, Neo, if you're up for it, we need to get in that fucking ship that Giga just launched his life into and take control of that fucking turret and mow down any and everything that comes through, but I can't do it on my own. I'm gonna need you to come with me. And what weapons do we have? So Zane gave Neo what? Was it a You just gave him the necklace. Okay.
I gave him the necklace.
So we know we have Maria's laser pistol.
Also, when Danny went through the windscreen, the fire from the turret stopped because the guy was no longer pulling the triggers, so it stopped.
And that's from like a hovering helicopter of some kind, and it's different to the ship. Totally different to a ship that was parked a few bays down.
Yes.
Which everyone was running out of.
So, yes, exactly. So the one a couple ways down is kind of like this, almost like it has a roof that is peaked this way with wings that stick out, small like thrusters on either side in a wide, thick body. Maria's is the thin one that has the vertical section with the wings that kind of poke out sideways, things here in a balancing section with the cockpit at the top. Then the one that Danny has jumped into is essentially like, if you imagine like the big pelican ships kind of from Avatar, the blue people, not the airbender. Like that kind of vibe, basically.
Yeah, well, no matter what the best option is, we're going in for Danny's ship, because we need to see if we can save him in any way. So I say to Neo, look, I can't do this on my own. So you take your mom's fucking gun, and you get on my back like a goddamn backpack, and you snipe anyone that you see firing at us, and I'm gonna launch our asses up into that ship, and then you're gonna fucking drive it, Neo. You got this?
As you look at Neo,
is there any chance I can chuck Isaac my sawn off at that point?
So, what I'll say is, not this round. It could be something that could be done next round. What I would say is, as you say this, Isaac, Neo is tuned out 100%. He is not listening to you. What you see in his face is rage. A rage that is similar to what the rest of the squad have seen from you in moments of, I guess antagonization or when people have fucked with you, He stands up, and as you watch him raise his hand, he is just gonna scream. At that moment, the entire wall of windows to the terminal building shatters. All the lights on the dock ignite and blast all of you in light. As he continues screaming, you begin seeing the ship that the guy who Matt shot off, that kind of chunkier ship, you see that kind of turn on and basically just kind of float away for a second and then dip off and fall as you hear a goosh, and you see an explosion come up from down the side of the crevasse, the cliff side here basically. You can see other bits of tech begin coming alive as Neo begins screaming. You see wires beginning to almost move of their own accord, like snakes begin whipping towards Magnus and the other two. Zane, Isaac, what else? What do you want to do as you've said this, and you can see he's just not there right now. The smoke, the red smoke has gone up.
Yeah, I go up to him and I slap his ass across the face, and I say, "Snap out of it, Neo. We've got to save fucking Giga. You've got to save Giga. You know how to do it. You can get into his fucking programming and you can save his ass. We need you to do that." And I just slap him and see if I can slap him out of it.
He turns to you. And as he does that, all the lights dim back down, and all the electricity and all the technology kind of rests and comes to a still. As he looks back at you and he goes, "Get my mom out of here. I will help these guys. I will be there in a second. I've got this. Go help Giga. I'll be there."
I say, "All right, man. You got your plan. I got my plan." And I start running towards Giga. I start running towards that ship.
Beautiful. Awesome. You can just make me a muscle check to try and leap from the dock into the ship that's already shattered. And there's no fire coming your way.
That's an 8 plus 1. That's a 9.
That's a 9. Beautiful. As you run off, he turns and goes, "Take my mom with you, fuck!" And you see Neo stop, turn around, put Maria's arm over him as he grabs her and begins chasing after you as she's kind of limping and hobbling, holding her stomach behind you. What was that, Tom? What did you roll?
I roll a 9, and
Beautiful.
And I go up to Neo and I say, "Look, Neo, I know you've got fucking smarter fucking intelligence than me, but we lost Giga. So I don't know what to do here, but I can't fucking carry your mom and or you or anything else into that ship. I've got to go get Giga. So you've got your fucking plan? Save your own fucking mom or do my plan. That's where I am right now. You decide."
Awesome. Cool. You begin running off, and you, with the 9, leap from the dock, enter this kind of slow motion moment. Again, you kind of flailing through the air, kind of drifting through the air as you land on the console. As you land on a couple of the buttons, you see the door at the back of the cockpit go shunk, 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 shunk. As you've clearly pressed the door button on the console, and you manage to step off and get off. At that point, Neo behind you is going to get to his mother's ship. He's going to basically lift his mother onto the ship, put her down, and go, "Here, be safe. Just wait here." She's like, "Don't go," and just coughs more blood as he turns around, dashes back out the ship, and rushes back towards the others where Magnus and you lot are. Cool. That is going to be everyone's actions. Cool. So back to the top of the initiative order. Matt, you're up first.
Is he frozen?
Oh, Matt's frozen.
Never
mind.
First.
Danny, you're up first. Oh, you're muted, Danny. Lol.
It's going well.
Come on. So now I'm face to face with this guy, dripping blood. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through him, because my thought is, now I've just seen somebody else land next to me and I realised it's Isaac. It's like, right, if he's here, he can take over the turret. I'm going to go through this guy, then I'm going to go Rambo through the rest of the ship.
Awesome. Beautiful. You charge forward. Make me an attack roll with upper hand.
6. Fucking hell. 4, 6, 7. I've got no blues left, have I, to expend anything? So I used all
how many blues? How many blues? Wait. If you had 8, you haven't rolled. Have you re-rolled 8 times?
No way you've expended 8.
No, you've re-rolled.
Sure.
No.
No, but if I took that much damage, your blues becomes your damage.
No.
No,
You still take harm.
You still take heart. Your blues is fine. Your blues is all good. You're all good. You're just down to 0 HP at this point. You're just down to negative HP.
That's better. So, 2 damage with 9 to hit.
Beautiful. You absolutely eviscerate this guy based on the swan song ability that all your attacks are deadly. You rush in and plunge both of your arms in first, and they go straight through his clothing into his stomach. You grab either side of his internal organs and just rip outwards and just tear this dude completely in half. You throw the dismembered parts of his body across either side of the room as blood just splatters on the ground in front of you. Isaac, you watch Giga just completely eviscerate this dude. At that point, Giga, the door, and someone steps in with a pistol. You see the arms come through first. Isaac, they're pointing the pistol at you. Cool. You've got movement left, Danny. You've got like basically a bit of movement left this turn.
Okay, so he's come in and pointed a pistol at Isaac. So with my movement,
Yes.
I'll just stand in front of the gun. Stare the man
Beautiful.
down.
It goes off and hits you square in the face. The bullet rips through your cheek and out the back of your skull, and you just stay completely cool. The bullet, Isaac, pings off a part of the cockpit near you. Cool. Next up is Matt, as you were missing. You were first.
Yeah, I'm no idea what the fuck happened there. I heard everything. I'm there going, I'm doing this. No. So I think if Isaac's now booked it, I was gonna chuck the sawn off. So the sawn off's in my hand, but now I see Yoshi in front of me, and that rage descends even further as I am still in my troubles brewing, and I am going to try and unload both barrels of this sawn-off shotgun deep into Yoshi's midriff.
Awesome.
Probably at point-blank range.
Roll me an attack with upper hand.
That's 4, isn't it? Oh, you filthy son of a bitch. That's 11 to hit with 3 damage.
11 to hit 3 damage. Beautiful. You can absolutely, you press the muzzle of the barrel of this on his chest. It blasts him. He gets lifted off his feet in a second. He's there. He's like, ah! Goes to swing his sword. He goes off his feet, goes flying backwards, and slams into some crates as he kind of falls limp for a second, dropping the vibro katana to the ground in front of you, Zane.
I am probably then gonna... So Neo's running back, isn't he? I am gonna put my foot on the vibro blade and kicks it towards Neo, as then you just watch as I flip the sawn off 2 shells, and I'm gonna load my last 2 shells into that, and just look at Magnus. You're next, motherfucker.
Beautiful. You look at him between the 2 heads of the oncoming Void Marauders, and you see his head just between the 2 of them. You smile and you see those kinds of gears begin to rotate round in his animatronic eye, similar to yours, the augmented eye, as it begins kind of dialing in on you. It's beautiful. As you kick this up, Neo stretches a hand out, and like the kick wasn't 100% perfect. But you see him place his fingers to his temple, and almost like with the fucking force, it like zaps towards his hand, and he grabs it out of thin air and kind of waves it back and forth and goes, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." Or for anyone who's watched Deadpool, "Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself out here." And like basically stands next to you, Zane, and is like, basically like takes stance with you, grips the blade with 2 hands, and stands next to you. Cool. Sick as fuck. Cool. Magnus behind the 2 is gonna go get them. As they rush forward, he's gonna withhold his turn until they make their attacks, basically. So Jesse, what you doing, buddy?
Cool. So Jesse, he's laying back, you know, on his back with the roof, rain running on it. He just goes, "Oh, it was fucking loud," and then just reloads, sits back up, and just assesses what's going on. We'll see 3 of them still there. Magnuson's got back up. And is going to... Is Magnuson closer, or is it these other 2?
Magnus is closer to you.
Sorry, as in to Zane and Neo. Who's closer to those guys?
He's the furthest. The front 2 are closer to them.
Closer. And they've got what? Sorry, what weapons have they got?
2 pistols as far as you can see currently.
I'm going to try and take out Magnuson. Or Magnus, sorry.
Beautiful. Hell yeah, go for it. Can rip a shot off at him. Hell yeah.
Is this 3d6 or 4?
Yep, 3d6, try and make 8, and then damage is the third one.
I make 8 just, and 3 damage.
Beautiful. Hell yeah. You lock in, dial in, hold your breath, and again, you've practiced it 1,000 times. You wait for that moment in between a heartbeat at the very bottom of a breath, usually about 10 heartbeats in, and you crane off a shot. It rips forward and hits Magnus in the thigh. You see him drop to the ground and take a knee as he looks back at you and he goes, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to deal with this," and turns to face you.
Just literally just waving there like, "Hello, motherfucker."
Anything else, Dave, on your turn? Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, so after waving and smiling, I got his attention. I would like to then move into cover on the roof.
Beautiful, awesome. So you take a few steps back, and are you going to hop over that air vent pipe and take some good cover?
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. You take some good cover. Love that. Awesome. Next up is Tom. What's Isaac doing is you've just seen Giga eviscerate this dude and then just take a bullet basically to the face.
I go up to Giga and just ask him, "You all right, dude? Are you okay?"
I've got to do what I've got to do. You take the turret, I'll take the ship. And I'm sort of almost talking in automaton now.
You take the turret. We need to fucking clear that dock. We need to clear that dock. They're taking lots and lots of fucking rounds right now. You take the turret, I'll clear the ship. I don't know how to fucking run a ship.
You need to shoot. I'm not a shooter. I'm a fixer. I can get up here. I can hack into the ship. We can use this ship to get away.
Fine.
Her ship is damaged. We need a plan B.
I step into the turret's kind of seat, and I'm like, "How do I do this?"
Cool. Make me a savvy check.
9 plus
Beautiful.
9.
Beautiful. You brush some glass off of the console and you grab the yoke-like joysticks basically. As you begin kind of turning it, you begin getting a feel for how the ship kind of moves. And you kind of look. There's a bunch of buttons on the actual joysticks themselves, and you kind of look around and you pull some, and a shot comes firing off, and you feel the front of the ship lift ever so slightly with the recoil of the turrets. You have a feeling you think you could probably work this.
Cool. I'm aiming at anyone that's not Jesse, Zane, Maria, or Neo.
Beautiful. What I'll say is you see, and you're kind of seeing more of this kind of battlefield from this kind of slightly raised position, and you're looking out onto it. What you see in the distance is lights. Blue and red. More gathering. As you see Scar's officers begin filling into the terminal. You're just gonna let go? Just let rip?
I turn to Giga and I say, "We got more incoming, Giga. What's the plan? How the fuck we gotta get them on their ship, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But we gotta clear some space for them all to get on that ship, and then we'll take down, or we'll do whatever we need to do to give them some time to get out of here."
Point and shoot, man. Just point and shoot.
I look at Giga and I'm like, for the first time I noticed that half of his face is kind of ripped off, and I see that he's got additional big injuries, and I say, "Dude, you okay? You with me here?" Giga!
I don't respond.
As
Fuck's
you say
sake.
that, the guy who took the shot at Giga, who was right in front of him, goes to pistol whip Giga. Giga, you catch his hand as it's coming down towards you in your swan song. Cool, beautiful work. At this point, the two Void Marauders in front of Zane and Neo are going to dash forward. They're going to start shooting, and as they do, they're weaving in and out of each other shooting. Zane, I'm not even going to roll the attacks. As Neo steps in front of you, you kind of like take a step, almost to the side as if you're going to move, and he places a hand on you, steps forward, puts his wrist out, and his wrist detaches from itself and begins rotating at a ridiculously fast pace. This vibro katana almost creating a shield for you two as he begins walking forward towards them as they're also coming forward. One of them dives behind some cover and rips out and takes another 2 shots at you, but they just getting completely deflected by this katana. Cool. Finally, Magnus is going to kick his boots as and he begins flying up. I'll make a little sound check. As he comes up, Jesse, you see him come flying up onto the roof. As he lands in a stumble and falls over. His coat actually comes over his head, and he kind of like stumbles and takes a fumble. You reckon you're going to have a second to get ahead of him in the next round. Cool. That is everybody. Tom, make me an attack roll for your blast with this gun. Who are you shooting? Who are you shooting right now as Giga's just going off behind you? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Tom.
Who is the most immediate threat right now? Is it Magnus?
Probably.
Yeah, but not to Neo.
I was going to say, there's the 2 in front of Neo and myself right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for them. I want to give Neo, his mom, and it looks like Zane a clear passage to that ship. So I'll go for the 2 that are blocking their way. Are they blocking their access to that ship?
Not blocking the way, but yes, they're definitely the ones they're contending with at the moment. So yeah, you can roll your attack.
Can I exert?
Yeah, totally.
Down to 2 heart. Let's see. Alright, that gets me to... Oh, shit. Still not there. I'm going to exert again with the other one.
Hell yeah, one heart left.
Yep. Yes. Okay, so that's an 8 and a 2. Yeah, 1 heart left. And as I see kind of what's happening right now, I see that there's a limited number of people on the dock, and I feel like there's a chance that we can get them onto their ship. But I also see all of these scars lights coming from a distance, and I understand now that mine and Giga's role might be simply to buy whoever makes it on that ship's, just to buy them some time to get the hell out of here. So to face whatever number of ships that is in probably a suicide mission, just to let them get out of here. So at this point I have 1 heart and 5 blues. So I am very seriously considering swan songing at this point as along with Giga. And yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So what you can see in front of you is, it looks like there's a moment where you can give them a break. You blast some shots off and they ripple across the deck. You kill one of the 2 Void Marauders and he falls off the deck. The other one is still tucked away, Magnus on the roof. But you can see there's probably 100, maybe more, SCAR's officers coming into the terminal right now. You're not sure how much ammunition this turret has left, but you know one thing for certain, one thing that you've learned in all your time doing crazy shit. Explosions typically kill more people. You look at the console, you look at your hands, as you begin entering Swan Song as well. I don't know what thought might occur to Isaac in this moment as he sees what is essentially an army coming towards you guys. The only way off of this dock would be in a ship. There is a chance to let some of these people escape. What's the plan?
I turn to Giga and I say, buddy, I think we got to roll in this. And it's not to make it, but it's allow that kid and his mom to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And I'm going to clear this with you first. If we run out of ammo, I want you to point that fucking ship at the biggest group of those scars you can and fucking flatten it full speed ahead. And I'll see you on the other side.
And I'll turn to you, give you a cheeky smile and just ride or die, motherfucker.
At this point, the camera pulls out of the ship as Isaac begins unleashing a barrage of bullets down the dock. The camera pulls away as we see Neo spinning this blade as him and Zane continue marching forward to this final Void Marauder. Zane, you see the Scars army in the terminal ahead. The covering fire from Isaac is keeping the last Void Marauder busy. Jesse is currently on the roof distracting Magnus. What's the plan, Zane?
I think seeing the cover fire, seeing Magnus jump up towards where Jesse is, holster my guns, two hands on Neo's shoulders, and I am going to throw him. Just... You get on that fucking ship, boy. Right now, you take your mom far away from here as fucking possible. You understand me?
You see him step back full for a second. The cover fire from Isaac keeping the Marauder down as he looks at you. And he goes, "Have I not earned my place? Have I not earned my place?" And he touches the side of your head. The one thing you always feared when you became part machine, part human, was those augments working against you, Zane. As he grips you and you begin feeling almost like your brain begins shifting ideas, you begin feeling him just almost weed into your mind as his voice in your head sounds out and goes, "You're coming with me. We're getting out of here. We're all getting out of here." As he lets go of you and begins running towards the ship where his mum is, as he looks back at you and goes, "Let's go!"
Can I fight it?
Yeah, roll me a sanity check. Your first ever.
Sanity
This
check.
is
How
cool
the
as fuck.
fuck do I do that?
So, roll me 2d6. And I would say you've got full sanity at the moment as you've never used your augment. So that would be a solid +3 to the roll.
$11.
Beautiful. With an 11, you manage to shake it off. But as you look over your shoulder to Neo, you see him get into the doorway of the ship and look back at you. As he looks up at Isaac, and Isaac, you see Neo look at you. And he gestures like, get out of here. He starts being like, get out of here. We're fine. Get out. Go. At that moment, Isaac, the turrets run out of ammo. At that moment, down the dock, the Void Marauder steps out from behind cover, pointing his pistol at Zane. Zane, what you want to do?
So if I fought off the onslaught, the cybernetic onslaught, I'm going to take that moment to just look and sly grin towards Neo. And for the first time, I will rip the eye patch off. And as I do so, the left hand's going to come out and just try and shoot the twat that's next to me.
Beautiful. Awesome. Roll me an attack roll.
Yeah.
You can do it with upper hand because you're so close.
Maths. 9 and 3 points of damage.
9 and 3 points of damage. Fuck yeah. You blast his brains all across the dock as his body stands upright for a second and then just topples. As it hits the dock, it then topples off of the dock and tumbles down to the depths below. At that moment,
and I think
we're gonna
in that moment...
Go for it.
Sorry, as a final piece at that moment then, having smiled at Neo and almost given him that signal to go, I'm going to look up to where Magnus is, probably approaching Jesse at this point. You and I have got unfinished fucking business.
Amazing.
That's where I'm headed.
So, are you going to go start making your way up there?
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful. You dash off towards the ladder and climb up onto the roof. So we're going to do this in 2 scenes now. And these will likely be the last 2 scenes that some of you will ever see. So, first of all, Isaac, you run out of ammo in that moment. You see the Void Marauder get killed, but the scars are now almost at the end of the hallway that leads onto the dock. You see Neo looking up at you, going, "Get out of here! Get out of here! We're gonna go now!" What's the move?
I turn to Giga, who's holding the power handles. And I say...
Giga is currently at the back of the room fighting a dude, actually. Giga is actually at the back of the room fighting a dude. It's you at the controls.
Okay, do I have the control of acceleration as well?
Yep, you've got the whole thing. You've got the whole cockpit to yourself.
Okay. I think to myself, fuck. I thought I was going to be the main character in this story. Fuck. Fuck. And I see Neo running to the ship. And I see Maria limping to the ship. I see Zane moving toward this final foe between him and Jesse. And I know our role is to not be the main character of the story. And I elevate the ship. And I turn around to Giga and I say, "This is it, Giga. I'm not sure if this is how you thought it would end. It sure as fuck isn't how I did. I'm so sorry." And I press forward, heading toward the mass of scars, men closing in from afar.
Beautiful. As you do, Danny, this guy goes to pistol whip you. You catch his fist. You hear Isaac say, "I'm sorry." as you get that fire ignite within you. You look over his shoulder and you see a room of 5 Void Marauders stood in front of you. Danny, I'm not going to make you roll for anything. This is your swan song. Please describe, as I make each one of these guys come and attack you, how as Isaac accelerates towards the terminal, you eviscerate everyone in this motherfucking ship. So,
Right.
the first guy, you've caught his wrist. He looks bright, he looks wide-eyed at you. What do you do?
Snap his forearm bone, so the gun falls to the ground, and then I'll beat him to death with his own arm, because I've snapped it off.
And eventually, you just go through. You're using his palm, and you eventually break through face and skull, brain, and straight through to ground. As you look up, the doors open as the people behind you, one of them kind of cocks his fists, another one takes a step backwards, and a couple of others reach for some weapons. The first one who cocks his fist runs at you. He goes to swing a right hook at you. How do you move through this?
And as
part
I've been
and deal
smashed
with
into face, I look up at them, and before he runs, I'll take some blood and I'll put it on my face, you know, like quarterbacks do,
Yeah.
or
Nice.
war chiefs. And then as he's running at me, I'll just get the gun that I've just taken out of the bloke's hand, and as he swings, I'll just shoot him up in the head, so it goes out the top of his head.
He falls
And then
limp to
I'll-
the ground, almost like in a prayer position.
Yeah. And then I'll stand behind
Go for
him, over his shoulder, and then I'll go and take 2 more out.
You take 2 more out. You see one smashes out of a window and is limp hanging out of one of the windows of the ship. The other one gets shot and falls back over the sofa onto the ground. You see 2 more. One of them picks up a mop and throws it at you point first.
I'll catch them up, snap it in half, and then I've got 2 batons.
Oh.
And then I'm just going to run at him and jump, knee into his chest. Spikes through it.
Straight into either side of his throat as he...
Straight on Buffy to that bitch.
And he just keels over. You can
He
see
turns into dust and we
2
realise he
more.
was a vampire. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
2 more walk in at that point into the room, and you can see one of them has these large metallic fists on his hands. Collapses them together as a almost echo wave of energy blasts outwards, almost signifying what they can do. As the one in front of him kicks off the wall and goes to a spinning kick in the air and goes to kick you in the side of the head. What do you do?
Block it with my arm, and as it's the electrical charge, but it's because it's backfiring, it actually just sort of lets out a bit of a blast, and it just catches his leg, blows him into the wall, and he lands into the vending machine canteen situation as an impaled just on some confectionery.
Amazing, yeah. He gets
Mars
held
bar.
as you see a Mars bar just and land on him. And Mars bar says, "Make Mars great again." President Crump's everywhere, guys. President Crump's everywhere. And then the final guy stands in front of you, Danny. He goes, "All right then, you fucking cunt. Let's see what you're about." And fucking charges at you, goes to throw an uppercut with this ginormous metal fist at you. What you do?
I will dodge it, and then I want to use, I'm assuming Isaac is going to be swooping in, so we're going to turn. I know what he's going to do, so I'm going to brace myself ready for the turn of the ship, and then he's going to go off balance with the swing and start to fall, and then I'll go back, roll backwards, and then almost catapult him backwards out the window, and he'll go flying out the ship.
Beautiful. You roll him out of the window. You take the other guy that was already hanging out the window with him. They both go flying, and you watch as they fall initially, but then as they continue to float further out of the weak atmosphere of Mars 5, just a chunk of Mars that doesn't have the same gravity as it used to, you see him begin drifting off in space as he begins kind of freezing and solidifying into place. All of this happens as the ship is moving. Danny actually stays in the same place, but because Isaac is flying, that's how he moved through the ship throughout this whole situation. Beautiful. You guys come flying over Neo's ship towards the terminal. We're going to cut over to our other scene. So on the roof, Zane, you pull yourself up onto the roof to see Jesse behind some cover as Magnus is standing up and wheeling around with his vibro katana in his hand. So, Jesse and Matt, you guys can go back and forth, do this how you guys want. Let me know what you guys are going to do.
So...
Dave's going to throw a cat there. He's just been
rolls up the sleeve.
Tabby attack.
We're time to bring out Pokemon, Dave.
It is brilliant, yeah. No, so as Magnus has landed on the roof and not well, I think that what I so I jump over and basically just I actually want to throw the sniper rifle at him. As he's trying to get up to sort of confuse him, and then I'm just going into a full-on hand-to-hand combat with him, so that I can then, I basically want to just Spartan kick him off this. So I want to get him off guard and then Spartan kick him off the roof. That's my goal.
Okay, cool, sick. The way we're gonna do this is roll me a savvy check to distract him with a nice with a nice fake. And then roll me an attack roll. If you succeed on the savvy, it will be upper hand on the attack roll.
I was wondering why something was playing, and it was because Pebble was hitting the keyboard. I was like, the fuck is that? Sorry, what am I doing again?
So savvy check and first. An attack roll, please.
The savvy is 8.
Beautiful. You leap over this air vent pipe and you come towards him. As you do, you basically fake a punch. As he goes to block with the vibro katana, you get an opening and you throw a teep kick, which is that straight, sharp, jabbing, like punch type kick, basically, straight to his midsection. Roll me an attack roll with upper hand because you succeed.
With upper hand, I'm going to. Can I only use? Is it just one blue to roll one dice, or is it just as many as I like?
You can You can do one blue per dice. Once you've re-rolled it, that's the roll you have to keep.
That was the most unbelievably shit roll ever. So I'm going to re-roll all 4
ones.
3 1s and a 2. So 100% just all, and I take 4 blues out of that.
Amazing.
That's good, Jeff.
So that now means, and I have to hit with an 8.
Yeah.
So I hit with an 8 and 3 damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Hit with an 8 and 3 damage. Beautiful. You throw this sharp teep right into his stomach. It hits him. You see him almost get winded in the second as he takes a couple stumbling steps back. Matt, you're up to act. You're about 20 feet away from them. What are you doing?
So as I see him stumble back, I'm going to rush forward, literally just rush forward and catch Magnus by the back of his neck.
Yeah.
And as Jesse sort of kicks him, I'm then just going to pull him back so he's hanging over the edge.
Awesome.
Right from these fucking ashes, motherfucker. And that shotgun is going to go straight into his midriff and I'm going to blast that bastard straight off the edge.
Nice.
Beautiful. Okay. So this is what's going to happen. As you grab him from behind and kind of grab him by the throat and go to dangle him over the edge, he's going to be squirming with his katana. He's going to go to attack you as you also shoot him. Can you please make me your attack roll? I will do the same.
That's a critical. I got 2 6s. That's 12.
Bye-bye, Magnus.
2 points of damage, but it was a critical hit, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do is this. So, first of all, amazing. You run up next to him, you plant the shotgun in, you blast. You see the side of his rib cage literally explode out of his rib cage as bones, lung, organs all go flying into the air and just land in a flump down onto the dock below. As you see his eyes widen, he winks at you and looks down. I shit you not, I rolled 3 6s.
What? What?
As you look down,
What?
as you look down and you see the vibro katana piercing up through your abdomen, through your heart, and coming out of your shoulder. As he looks at you and he goes, yet again, and falls off of the roof, dead. You take 6 points of damage, Matt.
Which is reduced to 3 because I am in Troubles Brewing, but that also reduces me to 0. So I will swan song the shit right now.
Beautiful. As this happens, Jesse, you stand up. Zane, you guys look at each other. You can see Zane has got this katana stuck in his body, Jesse.
Zane! Zane!
You rush over and catch Zane as he falls to the ground, and you catch like the back of his head and his back as Zane collapses.
Zane? Did he get on the ship?
I am going to wrench this katana out. Just. I'll drop it. You gotta run, Jesse. Right now. Go. You gotta live.
I ain't leaving you here.
You gotta go. I'm surviving
As you
this.
say, I ain't surviving this. You guys turn to look to the side. You see Neo's ship has begun pulling away from the dock. As you watch Isaac in the cockpit of the other ship slam forward on literally every lever that is in the cockpit. He just forward accelerator, forward tilt, forward thrusters, forward just as the
Window
ship
wipers are going like
begins.
this. Fucking
Exactly. You watch as this ship tilts forward and just explodes towards the terminal building that you guys are on. Jesse and Zane, I'm gonna need a final action from you guys.
Yep.
Oh, my final action, because I know I'm dying. I'm fucked. So I am... if I can push Jesse to safety or whatever, my last thought is... not all of them, and just trying to throw Jesse wherever I can to get him to safety.
Hell yeah. Jesse? If you're throwing him, let's make an opposed muscle check, shall we, gentlemen?
Here we go.
Okay.
The final roll of our campaign, guys.
Can I ask a question? If
Yeah.
Jesse were to choose, would he be able to make a sprint and make it to that ship if he were to choose to?
We'll get to that. But this is all happening in a very quick amount of time.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
get to
What
that,
do we
don't
roll?
you worry. Muscle against each other.
What's that? What dice do I roll?
2d6 plus muscle.
Go on.
I have maxed the absolute fuck out of it. I've got 0 on my muscle, but it was 2 6s.
12.
Shit. 13.
Amazing. So, it would only be as closely contested as this. As you, Zane, go to throw Jesse off the roof, Jesse grips onto you, and you guys lock eyes. You have 1 second left as the ship basically comes just beneath you guys and is about to make contact with the terminal. What's the last words that you guys say to each other?
It's been fun.
You're the Phoenix now, fucker.
Amazing.
You just want to say yippee-ki-yay, Matt. That was it. And you didn't say it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that. If he throws me the second time, I would let him throw me, but that's about it. If it may not mean anything.
Beautiful. So, Tom, I'm going to come back to you in a second, but Danny, do you make it back into the cockpit for the last seconds of Gigabyte's life?
Yes, because what I'll do in a moment of clarity, when I've stopped fritzing and I've kind of gone out of cyborg rage, I'll get back into the cockpit just in time to hug Isaac, and I went, "Love you too, man," because I didn't say it back when he said it earlier.
Cool. Isaac, Tom, I'm going to give you the final moment of this campaign. I'm going to hand over some GM discretion to you. Describe to me what goes through Isaac's mind as he gets hugged, and describe the moment of impact of your guys' ship hitting the building, and then I'll take over from there.
I feel Giga, and I hear the words, and I say to him, "Fuck, man, maybe we are the main characters. Maybe we are the main characters." And I do the final thrust, and I say, "Hang on, buddy. I love you." And we plow into the crowd of scars.
The ship explodes. The roof of the terminal building is ripped off in this explosion, as this ship actually had a zero drive on board, something that is a very potent piece of technology that allows you to travel in hyperspace. When these are destroyed or blown up, they can cause cataclysmic blasts. Isaac and Giga, as you connect with this building, the blast and heat from the zero drive turns you to ash as you embrace one another. As Zane and Jesse are blasted off the roof, Zane, you throw Jesse in this last moment as a chunk of the roofing protrudes through your chest, Matt, as you go blasting off into space. Jesse, you black out for a second as you then hit something else in the air. As you kind of wake up for a second, you hear almost the sounds of ship engines as you hit again, black out. So, we're going to end our Arc 1 there, with a final bit of epilogue. We're going to cut to 6 months in the future. It is a gorgeous day to be flying around Earth. The sun is cresting off the crust of the planet in a stunning manner. And as an alarm clock goes off, 2 legs swing off of a bed. It then cuts to the person standing up, and it's a close-up of their ass. You see 2 jock straps basically wrapping around the two jockstrap strips, wrapping around either side of the butt as the person twangs both of the jockstraps. You see them move forward, and as they push down on the bed, a robotic, geared metal arm presses off of the bed. As they stand up, they reach forward and grab a necklace off of a counter and clip it behind their neck. As they then pull on a t-shirt, and as the t-shirt gets pulled over their head, a 20-something-year-old looking Neo looks at himself in the mirror of his personal bathroom upon his ship. He looks down at the piece of necklace, feels the uncomfortableness of the jockstrap, and looks at his new modified arm and thinks of his boys. Thinks of those who gave him life. Those who allowed him to be the man who he is today. He closes the cabinet in his bathroom, the mirror shifting off of his own reflection, as he turns around, grabs some comm stuff, clips a belt which has an engraved laser revolver on it. He clips his belt and walks out of this door that just opens. He comes into the body of this ship. You can see that there's some sofas laid out. There's a beanbag on the side. And he walks into a room, and sat in that room are 3 unnamed characters that we don't know. And one character that we know very well. Jesse Brains is sat on the sofa, arm in a sling, as Neo walks in and goes, "Good morning, crew. You guys ready for another dandy day of fucking shit up and stealing shit?" Jesse, anything to say?
I just can't get getting hurt like this.
Look, man.
But fuck it, yeah.
Look, man. He turns to one of the other crewmates. I told you to put that wet floor sign up. I told you.
Ah, come on.
And at that moment, he's gonna go, look, I'm gonna go fire up the engines. Let's get off this rock. Let's get to that fucking mark by sunset. He walks into the cockpit, swivels a chair around, sits in it. See him press a cassette into a cassette player and press play. As some 80s hairspray rock comes over the radio, the camera pulls out of the front of the ship, and we see this gorgeous ship, sleek, long black, painted matte black to fit in with the darkness of space. And written crudely on the side is Old Bessie 2. And that's where we're going to end Campaign 1 of Orbital Blues.
Oh, well done, Bodhi.
What a
I
fucking mini-series.
A little bit over our usual time, everyone. I apologize to the players and also everyone watching, but it was worth it.
Well,
guys,
worth it.
Thank you so much for being the most amazing cast and kicking ass. I look forward to our next Orbital Blues adventures with this new crew, Neo and maybe Jesse if Dave wants to reprise the role, we'll see. Or maybe we do a whole new crew and a whole new story. But be known that Orbital Blues will be back to Malt and Magic. For everyone who's watched and followed this series as the GM, I've appreciated you listening to my storytelling and my babbling and all that good stuff. So thank you for taking the time. And as always, we're Malt and Magic. Just a bunch of guys. We like to have super vulnerable moments while we pretend to be other people together. And have a good laugh while we drink some whiskey and enjoy ourselves. So thanks for joining Malt and Magic. And we'll catch you next week for Campaign 2. I'm hyped to get back in the seat. Matt, any other announcements from you?
Yeah, because next week is not just campaign 2. Next week is 4-year stream anniversary. Not just 4 years of Malt and Magic, but 1 year of having Tom and Bodhi join the cast and crew as well. So we have got some in fact, we've got a fucking huge giveaway to do next week. I kid you not, and I literally shit you not. It is the biggest giveaway we have done on Malt and Magic. So stay tuned for what that's going to mean, and we will also catch up with our beautiful party of the Planar Detective Agency. But yeah, once again, I think a massive, massive round of applause, Bodhi, because what a fucking miniseries, my friend. Like, absolutely amazing.
Phenomenal.
Fucking awesome. This will not be the last miniseries. Bodhi has already alluded to Orbital Blues Arc 2, but coming up, we have a lot of fun to be had with Mr. Rix stepping in to the DM's chair. More details to follow on that, and then there is a very special Halloween episode coming up as well as we enter into spooky season. So yes, lots coming on Malt and Magic, but I appreciate we're over time. Bodhi, mate, fucking amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate that so much.
Appreciate you all.
I suppose in the world. With that, we've been the Malt and Magic crew. This has been the Orbital Blues finale. We'll see you next time.
See you later,
Peace.
bitches.